Ah, good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday. Wednesday. I don't even know what to say about that. It's just Wednesday. The 14th of January in 2026, and I am here with Fluno. I'm Dennis, and we actually have a lot of car stuff to talk about tonight because it's becoming a complete mess out there. It really is. And I, I, nothing seems to truly be going great, and it's really weird. I've never in my life I've never lived at a time where it's been so horrendous to be into cars, and I think we're here. We are here now. How you doing, Flo? No.
I'm doing fine tonight, Dennis, and good evening to everyone out there who is joining us. It's a nice, crisp evening, not freezing yet, but crisp evening here in Ocala, and I'm enjoying it.
It's
Not
nice to
tomorrow
change of
night.
pace. Yeah, the change
Change
of
of pace.
pace though.
Last week we talked about Florida boiling over, but tomorrow night will not be a porch night, just to
Yeah.
throw it out there.
So I this weekend, last weekend, yeah, that's before we started. I drove my Charger to Sarasota and back. So I drove it and I visited my friend, who I do my other podcast with, and I drove my Charger 155 miles last weekend, and it was wonderful. I got around 15 miles to the gallon, which is not bad. I was huffing along at 75, 80 miles an hour. I went to this thing called Sarasota Cars and Coffee, and I had to be there at 6:30 in the morning. I left my house at 5:30 in the morning, and it was fascinating. There was 500 cars there. I posted some pictures. I didn't really. I was first time I did. I didn't really. There was nothing I could make. Thought I could make a video with. I do have a video though. I'm probably gonna throw on the end of something of me going over the Skyway and my bridge. Oh, Skyway Bridge with my car. Fascinating ride. But yeah, it was nice to see 500 cars there. The mix is very interesting, and this mix is kind of a big thing now because you have the new stuff, the exotic stuff. You have muscle cars there, but then there's a lot of 90s Japanese cars are now really becoming because they can bring them into the country. They are absolutely now going and bringing these things out. I mean, I saw cars I've never seen before, like a Toyota model where the doors go up, like a Lamborghini little two-seater. So it was absolutely utterly crazy, and it was all over by 10 o'clock in the morning. So it was nice. It was nice drive. I hopefully can do it again, but we'll see. Pardon. So yeah, that's it. It's car season now. Saturday I'll go to another car thing at the Harley Davidson dealership, take my car out. I did rebuild my thermoquad again because I wasn't happy with something. So I took it all apart and I put it. I also took my dash apart too because I'm insane. I did them both at the same time. That's insanity. That is literally not being wound tight.
Most cars back then were built around the dashboard, it seems.
Yes, yes, not as bad as a BMW 5 Series where they basically build the car around the air conditioning unit. Literally, if you have to change a evaporator in a 5 Series, get rid of the
Ugh.
car. Just literally just sell the car. Just sell it. Let somebody else worry about it. Oh wait, what about Al updating me? And I know we have two Diesel Larry here, Jamie Cotton. What about Al? They've been in the thing, and he passed on that Nova. Oh, he wouldn't come down. I mean, that's very fascinating because that car, under 1,000, unless it had cancer everywhere, it's probably okay. So yeah, we evaluated a car for Autobot last week, and it was interesting looking. It was a mid-70s Nova though, so that's like, yeah. So that was the whole thing. So this week there is so many things happening that are just bizarro, I guess. One of them, of course, we're continuing with our first brands talk because this story gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And honestly, anybody thinking that this is going to be over by April of this year, it's not going to happen. Not what after what just came out in the last week. And we're also going to talk about GM, basically lighting $7 billion on fire, and then the spin that was put on in the last week after they lit the $7 billion on fire. The death of the Hornet, which was not a surprise to anybody. Jeep and Bronco news. So, I'm going to show how expensive some parts have gotten on, especially for a Chrysler. It'll make you nauseous when you see these prices. Nauseous. And then maybe a little bit of the Mecum auction, because I don't even know if I can get there now because my schedule's been all screwed this week. The weather's going to be – I could go tomorrow, but the weather's going to be ass. And I just don't know if I want to freeze to death walking around looking at cars, because it's wind's supposed to be like 20 miles an hour. I just don't want to deal with that. So here I am. Okay. So Fluno, First Brands. I mean, simple bankruptcy, right? Right?
Yeah.
No, it isn't. It's gotten to the point that this has happened. First Brands sues founder's brother for fraud. Not the founder. His brother is now being implicated in stealing billions of dollars. Billions. Suit claims Edward James, company's largest creditor. So his brother is the largest creditor, conspired to defraud creditors out of billions of dollars and property. This is how this is going. So the First Brands Group has sued Edward James, its former executive and the brother of company founder Patrick James, and its largest creditor, Onset Financial, for conspiring to defraud creditors out of billions of dollars in property. According to the lawsuit filed January 9th, this is just recent, Edward James would work against the company as Onset's secret partner, and together they scores of supposed contracts between the debtors and Onset to enrich themselves at everyone else's expense. Onset and James created a bevy of supposed sales and leaseback transactions, saddling First Brands with billions of dollars of debt on outrageous terms, the lawsuit alleges. As a result, Onset and its secret partner, Edward James, obtained transfers of approximately $2.9 billion in cash, triple-digit returns, and alleged interest on inventory and equipment. The complaint opens a new front in a contentious Chapter 11 case pitting James and Onset against other creditors who should benefit from the lawsuit filed in Houston. Succeed. First Brands is now looking to recover the cash and property that was obtained through the allegedly fraudulent transaction. This is another lawsuit was filed on January 5th against them also. So he has two lawsuits against him for basically stealing. Edward James invested nearly $150 million along Onset, hoping to extract $280 million from First Brands and related financial entities before the house of cards came crashing down. They obtained over $2.3 billion in payments. The First Brands also transferred more than $600 million in cash to Onset as of September, bringing the total to $2.9 billion. What do you think about this, Fluto?
Wasn't there any oversight? And that's the wrong word, I'm sure, but
that's the right word. That's a word. That's a word. Yeah.
No, but it's one individual. Normally when this happens, and I'm certainly no pro at large mergers like this, but it's one individual doing all this, and he just happens to be the brother of the founder. No one's having red flags or even a little bit of a gut feeling that there could be, just throwing it out there, a little bit of, I don't know, hey, let's work this out. I don't know how. I'm actually at a loss of words. One, because I'm ignorant about many things when it comes to these large mergers, but common sense would make anyone. We're not talking $500 here. Like, okay, it's two guys getting into business, whatever. And, oh, I lost 10 grand. Okay, that's hey, sucker born every minute, or fool me once, shame on, and you, but whatever. Fool me twice, shame on me. But that's $2.9 billion, and nobody was like really looking into the books here at all.
No, and this is the thing. And this is why this and there's a couple more stories, because there's actually even more bad stuff. But what happened is that because the family had such control over this, and he was a control freak,
Okay.
that literally he was surrounded by yes people, and if you tried to do anything, you got fired. And so there was no oversight. There was no people watching the piggy bank. This family had free reign of this company. And it is truly scary how far this has gone.
That's right, because they were private, not public, right?
It's a private company, which makes this, which is even scarier. So now all these banks, and we don't even know the extent of the losses they're going to take, because Jeffrey said they lost $80 million. I have a feeling that number is going to balloon. I have a feeling that we're going to see banks losing billions of dollars against this, because the stuff isn't worth that much anymore. The brands are all damaged and split up. They're really a mess. And this is what I was trying to tell everybody in the video I did, both the videos I did, the regular YouTube videos, is that this is going to hurt supply. I mean, you may not use Fram or their products, but it will hurt supply. And it has. I want to order a oil filter from my mother's X5, right? I mean, and they use that 4.4 forever. I mean, that was a long run. And we tried to order it. There were none in stock. In fact, that was a man thing. And we had to get a Beck Arnley, and there was only like 15 of those left on Amazon. I mean, seriously. And Amazon's usually good about having supply. I mean, that's their whole business is logistics. They literally are having a hard time getting these parts. And honestly, the price for stuff for my charger, the oil filters have gone up in price now. And it's nothing to do with politics or anything. It's that there is now a supply crunch, because places like Advanced Auto are now not able to get their filters, because there is such a mess going on, because the Chapter 11, the lawsuits, all the things that make this a disaster is right here.
And I'm guessing your Chrysler oil filter is, I could be wrong, but it's probably like a PZ1 style. Like, it's probably nothing fancy. Okay.
It is
right. So it's the big
same one.
The one that the Lincoln uses is the same something one on every make.
It is literally a filter that was used for Christ. It had to almost be 50 years.
Absolutely.
Ford used it up until the 90s. Chrysler used it up until the 90s, and it was started in actually past the 90s. And honestly, this is not a fancy filter. There's nothing fancy about it. But honestly, I try to buy like a Wix one, and now it's $20. It's literally a serious $20 bill for a filter,
for an oil filter.
For an oil filter. And that's where we are at this point. And First Brands hasn't even completely collapsed yet. And that's coming, because I just don't see this bankruptcy resolving itself by April. And I don't know if they're going to have cash. Oh, vintage 76 Viper Green Beetle. Air filter for the wife Toyota Highlander. Maybe I'll buy a Fram. No, don't buy Fram. If you like your vehicle, do not buy a Fram filter. I cannot recommend a Fram filter for anything, except if you're going to be flipping the car and you don't care. If you actually care about that car, don't put a Fram filter in it. Please don't. Just don't. Anything else, just don't put that in there.
What makes them so bad?
They just don't work. Fram filters literally, every test online, Fram filters just let dirt through. I mean, and they're restrictive. Their oil filters, not every one of their oil filters is horrible. Their really high-end one that they actually take time and charge twice the price
Right.
actually do work. But their base filters literally bypass half the oil. The media is really thin on it. They can collapse. I mean, it's a cheap filter. It's junk.
Yeah.
And honestly, I that's why I like BMWs. If I can't get Beck Arnley or Mann, I'll get K&N. K&N actually makes a very high-end filter for oil filters. Very high-end, very well made, extremely well made, and it actually filters stuff out and doesn't restrict. But I mean, honest to God, Fram is basically, junk. And the other thing, they ruined Autolite. Autolite's made in China now. Those spark. I wouldn't use an Autolite spark plug if you gave them to me. They're made in China. I can't. So, I had to go buy, because I need cold plugs. Champion doesn't make. I had to buy Japanese plugs, but at least I know they're made well.
Yeah.
What's funny is that BMWs use Japanese plugs. They use NGKs.
Something's got to not blow up on the car.
Something's got to be reliable.
Yeah.
No, you wrote it. I know you wrote air filter, vintage 76 Viper Green. Their air filters are garbage too. They literally let dirt through. They just do not, and they're restrictive. They just are not very good. But you'd be better off if you want to make the car really last. Better off just go buying a Toyota filter. The OEMs actually are pretty high quality filters. They don't stay like the filter in the Bronco. We've had it now. We got it. We ordered it 22. Got it December 22. A little over 3 years. And I checked that air filter. It is a giant cone filter inside the thing. It's not even really dirty. They made this filter so we can handle like going through the Sahara Desert and not getting clogged. And so, I mean, honestly, and K&N is probably the worst thing you could ever do to your car. K&N is garbage. If you, as I had a friend in the BMW club, he had engines built. He's like, K&N filters an engine builder's best friend because they let too much garbage through, and they don't flow much better than a Wix. A premium Wix will actually flow just as well as a K&N, and it actually stops dirt. Because at the end of the day, you don't want dirt, and you don't want dirt getting in there for long hauls and destroying everything.
No. Well, and the old adage, like heck, even 25 years ago, the old adage was, every oil change or every other oil change, change your air filter. And those days are just kind of, because things have improved, but it exists about the quality of it. And I did not know that they were that horrible. It's funny you bring up that cone shape. Ford's been using that style on various trucks forever. I mean, that's a easy way. I just remember F-150s from like 15 years ago. Everyone had the cone style, big hollow tube in front. You just pop it open and in it goes.
Yep. And
ironically, I just changed the air filter of my Z3. Not fun, Bob. Okay. I mean,
really?
Let's put the clamp under, not to digress, but we're talking about air filters. And honestly, this one I got from Amazon, probably better than a Fram, and even the other one wasn't that dirty, but I figured, it's been long enough. But that last, let's put it under the main intake hose and then tuck it under the other piece of plastic that goes up against the radiator. That's great.
That was a BMW trait in the from the late 90s on, because the X5 had that. Had 4 clamps, and the fourth one you couldn't actually get your hand on it.
No.
Because why not? Sure. And then you drop it and you'd lose it. So every time I went to the boneyard, I would take all the little clamps.
Well, it's funny you say that, because the one up front, as I'm putting in, twing, it flew off like an M1 clip when the last round went off. Luckily, it hit the garbage can. It scattered in my yard. Of course, I'm on the driveway, but of course, it skids into the other brown material. I actually found it. I was like, no, I'm finding this. Yes, and I put it back on, but I'm like, how did that even go flying off? Like I didn't even put that much pressure. So I'm like, well, no, I found it. So we're all good. It runs great.
Awesome.
But yes, that fourth one was. I'm like, who thought of this?
An engineer. An engineer. That's who thought of it. That those guys.
But we're good for 1,000. But that's my point is that at least air filters now. And it's sad when like the Amazon Eco this and this and this would have 5 stars, yada yada yada, approved, whatever, foreign car, whatever, is better than inexpensive. I mean overall, but it's just sad where we're still making crappy products that go into people's vehicles and there's no oversight from France. That doesn't make any sense to me with these newer engines that cannot take a beating.
Well, I think with Fram is because they had to try to make the money back. Because I mean they've been part of bigger companies for a while, so acquisitions you gotta try to remake your investment, and plus they made a strategic deal with Advanced Auto Parts, so so lowest of the low there. But we have one more little thing on First Brands, and so this gets weirder and weirder. So this they froze the bank accounts of the founder, Patrick James. And now the judge, Christopher Lopez, said that he can get access during to his money, even though there are lots of questions that a lot of that money is not his. And this is a kind of a thing that is not the greatest. It's not great, Bob, because this guy literally went out before they filed bankruptcy. They went to their insurance company and increased the insurance on executives for errors and omissions. They went and increased it like they knew that it was all about to hit the fan. I mean, good. Everything this guy does is just slimy. And so now they literally gone and look, I mean, other stories. First Brand new CEO says managers admitted firm faked invoices. I mean, everything about this. BlackRock faces 100% loss on private loan. I mean, this company is literally a black hole, and this owner is really not he's not really somebody that's trustworthy. But and because of stuff like this, we're gonna pay the price for this. We are definitely gonna pay the price for this because there's just no way around it. We're gonna get absolutely monkey hammered on price of parts, supply of parts. Everything's gonna get ugly for a while until manufacturing can catch up. So there's the update now on First Brands, the never-ending dumpster fire. And yes, 2 Diesel Larry's mechanics should design cars, not engineers, because I have worked on stuff that literally I'm just like, why? Just why is this like? All right, something really simple. The cabin filter on my F-150, it is behind a piece of trim in the dash that you have to. It's like that fake wood. You got to undo this other stuff, slide in there, and then it takes like 25 minutes to change this little filter. But that doesn't hold a candle to the BMW E36. You have to remove the glove box, and then move wiring harnesses and move the opening thing and pry it out to change the cabin filter. And then when that gets dirty, no air comes out. When we first picked up the car in Vegas, I thought there was something wrong with the air conditioning. It was just that the filter was filthy. I don't know if my uncle ever changed it. And I changed it, and the car has so much wind now, it almost blows you into the back seat. But it took me, I wish I was kidding. With all the things to take off, it took me over an hour to change this filter. An hour. This is what engineers do. And it's like, oof, this looks very good. Yeah, it's efficient. Sure, good. No.
I'll tell you my 2 cents on that. I really believe their mentality is, oh, it's a nice car. It's going to be leased, or these people have money. and this is back, of course, years ago, just like my Lincoln and stuff, where they won't, the original owner won't have it in 5 years, so whatever, and we'll put it in here the way it works. Let the other people down the trough figure this out, because believe me, the Lincoln, even from almost 60 years ago, same philosophy. They're like, and no one would have that car in 5 years or whatever. Try even getting the leather seats off from all the what they call hog rings.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone was like, but again, quality. I understand the quality aspect, but yeah, my turn signal switch, trust me, it's up in the dash somewhere. It's down there somewhere. It will come out eventually after I break my hand in 5 places to get it.
Yeah.
So not everything on an old car is simple either, you know?
No, actually, I'm going to do a video on electrical, but it mainly Chrysler, because I have one sitting in my garage. I may actually introduce a little BMW, because BMW they have their own wonderful electrical things that they do that make me go, why? It's an engineering thing. Like BMW loves relays, and I mean they love relays. It's almost like they had a piece of the factory that made them. And my E30 that is an 89 BMW does not have remote door locks, and it has 3 relays that open the doors, that unlock the doors. 3 relays, and it's like, and a lot of wiring. I'm talking a lot of wiring. That E30 is a small car, and there's probably 2 miles of wiring in the car, and it's literally just called power windows. It's all it has is power windows, and it's 2 miles of wire, and it's only in the front. It only is a 2-door with power windows. Just let that sit in for a second. And under the dash is bundles and bundles of wire. So, yeah. All right. Well, speaking of electricity and things that are just, prone to fail, let's talk about General Motors. Why not? So this is from last week. It was kind of just the day of it. I couldn't get to it, but why not? Because now I knew there was going to be stuff coming up after it, and we're going to talk about this. GM to record a $7.1 billion. That's a 7 with 9 zeros after it. Loss. And a charge off is a loss. That means they put money into plants and whatever, and they're basically taking them offline and making them go away. That's what that means. They're done. So they're not going to get their fourth quarter results to January 27th, which is really interesting, because it's a little. It's about right though. It's about 3. Usually it's about 3 weeks. So General Motors said it will record a 7.1 in special charges for the fourth quarter of last year related to a pullback in electric vehicles and restructuring efforts in China. The restructuring in China is because the Chinese have screwed them massively, because that's what the Chinese do. They steal your tech, and they basically hold it hostage. And what are you going to do? Go to international court? And what are they going to do? So BMW learned their lesson there. They made an X5. The Chinese made an X5. Identical to an X5. So it's probably made better, but they made one. The Detroit automaker said in its public filing that the charges included $6 billion related to changes in its EV plans, which means getting rid of them, amid weakening demand, and $1.1 billion, including $500 million in cash, largely related to previously announced overhaul of Chinese joint venture. The charge will impact GM's net income, but not adjusted results. Well, that's what matters, the net income. The announcement was broadly anticipated after Detroit automaker in October said it was reevaluating the EV plans and initially took a $1.6 billion charge in that quarter. So right now we're over $8 billion. $8 billion that this company now. I'm going to stop there. Let me, and so they basically. I'll finish this off, and I have some thoughts. GM's new write-downs come after crosstown rival Ford Motors said in December to expect to record $19.5 billion in special charges related to restructuring of business priorities and pullback in all-electric vehicle investments. So these two companies have lost almost $30 billion due to appliances. But Barra, who is their DEI hire, We continue to believe there's a strong future in electric vehicles, and we got a great portfolio to be competitive, but we do not have some structural changes that we need to do to make sure that the lower cost of producing those vehicles. Oh, that was the CFO, Paul Jacobson. Oh, so Barrett didn't talk there. So pretty much, the EV segment is dead, and it was a long time coming. But this is what happened. I'm gonna jump immediately to this because this is the DEI hire. Mary Barra, who is I figured they just put her there so when it fails, they could just blame her. Because, I mean, honestly, there's nothing about this woman, and it's not because she's a woman. It's just nothing about her that strikes me as the person to lead General Motors, the biggest car company in the United States. Truly, nothing about her makes me think she's Henry Ford II. You know what I mean? Okay. So here she is, and she actually says, GM CEO says EVs still the end game despite industry pullback. So what does that tell you? Because she's politically connected. They're still going to try to push us into electric appliances. That is the end game to get us out of cars.
It is an end game. It is an end game.
Yeah, it is. It is actually
the end game.
Yeah. So Barra emphasized, all right, General Motors, Mary Barra said Trump administration pushed the loosened fuel economy rules has affected the automaker's business even more than the fast-changing trade policies. Speaking at Automotive Press Associated event ahead of this week's Detroit Auto Show, Barra said the administration regulatory shifts, such as killing a $7,500 electric vehicles tax credit, which should have never been there in the first place, and moving a rollback to tailpipe emission rules to something almost sane, prompted GM to rapidly adapt its product plans. So basically, the government not forcing people to not be able to buy real cars made you change your product plans.
Right.
Okay. So, so that's pretty much what she had to say. I mean, the rest of this is just her just blabbling on. And, they're going to have hybrid vehicles plug in, I guess. But even those don't make any sense. So General Motors is done that. But this is the thing that I kind of just everybody needs to understand here that Tim Kuniskis is not your friend. He is not here to save the V8. He is not here to bring back, Hemi everything, bring back regular cars that use gasoline, so your family could buy a V8 car for $45,000 and be able to drive, 200,000 miles with that car. He is not that guy. And this interview kind of took the mask off. Ram's V8 loving CEO says electrification is fantastic and will take over. Does that sound like somebody that really loves V8s, that really wants you in a normal car that you can afford to use, and that could last 200,000, 300,000 miles? It doesn't sound like that to me. I've always thought this guy was a carnival barker, and now I'm pretty much sure. The V8 party is back on at Ram with Tim Kuniskis back in the driver's seat. The Hemi V8 has returned as a symbol of protest, and the Hellcat-powered TRX has been resurrected. But the man in charge that grew up watching his dad drag racing knows the music will stop again, and the future is electric. On Thursday, in an exclusive one-on-one interview, Ram CEO Tim Kuniskis told The Drive electrification is fantastic, and at some point it will take over, Kuniskis compared the transition from gas-powered vehicles to EVs from when gas-powered cars arrived on the scene, where people still get around for your horses. I actually did a video on this. It is not even close to the same scenario. Not even close. It's not even remotely close to that scenario. That is a ridiculous argument. The internal combustion engine, the car took over for the horse and carriage because it was better. All right, Tim, tell me how electric cars are better. Just tell me. I want to give me a list here. But how does this transition was taking place was frustrated. The executive who is the father of the Hellcat speaking about the last few years, Kaniskas, the industry was transitioning. Everybody was out there beating their chest. They're going to transition to 100% electric and this and that and this and that. And at the same time, we were forcing technology in a market. And I'm not saying we were forcing a bad technology. So wait a minute. Kaniskas noted the internal combustion engine, the car took over for a horse and carriage because it was better. And blah, blah, blah. All right. So the main issue, according to Kaniskas, was the rapid transition to electric vehicles in the original purpose timeline. And basically, this article goes around in circles because he's saying the same things over and over and over again. Kaniskas noted, I am not an anti-electric guy. I'm an anti-forcing things on consumers that are not driven by consumers. The industry works by emotion and passion only. Without emotion and passion, driven by the customers, the entire business industry is a bubble. Now, if you think about it, the average consumer is now financing a car that for 6 years, and they trade in a car in 3 years. I'm rounding these numbers, but you get the point. When you would buy a car, finance it for 6 years, trade it in for 3 years, because we as an industry are really good at coming out with new, fresh, cool stuff that gets you excited, gets the emotion, and makes you want to come in for another 6 years. Without that, the industry goes from 17 million to 14 million units of retail, probably goes to half that. It's that hamster wheel that we created in the industry, but makes it work. And inherently, the hamster wheel is pulling the customer's passion and excitement. And when the customer's saying, we're not ready for this transition because I can't tow, it's not good for cold weather, 5% want it, and we want to get to 100%, you lose your hamster wheel. Okay. So there's a lot there, but honestly, I don't see anything that they're introducing that actually makes sense. I mean, honestly, nothing. A Hellcat Charger is not going to save Dodge. We did this last week. Dodge is a disaster now. It is a flaming, absolute pile of stinky dung that is just waiting to be scooped up and put in a trash can.
Well, let's go back to General Motors and Ford real quick. I mean, this gentleman, if you could see their writing, and I like how they use different lingo, like, oh, it's charges. It's like softening the blow. You notice that the lingo is very, we got to make some changes. Yeah, like get rid of the plants and charges. No, they're charge off. It's you're writing it off. It's a loss, but they like to use these words that aren't as harsh sounding. So what he's saying to me is, well, one, he's obviously not reading what they're throwing down over here. Second is that, and I've said this over and over again, it's not like people are radically, technically speaking, against alternative fuels. Electric vehicles are not meant to be in these type of cars. They're meant for city type of vehicles, runabouts, fishing. You plug in at night, you sleep on, you got 100-mile range. Cool. You're just driving to work and back. Maybe you have a wife and one kid. Okay, fine. You rent the car if you want to go on a longer trip. But these massive trucks, and for them to say something like, oh, it's fantastic, it's going forward, it's this and that. No, it's not. It's as simple as that. And like we discussed last week, two-door coupes are not in vogue right now at all, sadly. But that's not going to be saving the product. I don't understand their obsession with making electrified massive vehicles. I'm totally fine, believe it or not, like even with a hybrid car. Again, they were designed for more of your urban dweller. It makes some sense. You save fuel and you environment, whatever else we want to say. But yes, there is benefits to that when it's properly executed. The Ford Lightning, where are you going to charge that when you get done pulling stuff in the desert or whatever they try to make it look like you're doing? The Jeep's already gone, like you said. So I don't know why they keep hanging on to this when GM and Ford have just lost billions of dollars. And I just want to throw out that First Brands is only about a third away from they're a third, whatever. Yeah, they're catching up to. I mean, that's pretty pathetic when you think about it. That this parts company, this massive conglomerate of parts, 3 billion loss, and General Motors is at 7.1 billion. Now I know it's apples to oranges, but it's still funny to think that's how much money these massive automakers, 30 billion combined. Think of what they could have done with that money for just, even if they were just focusing on like the Volt or like the Fusion hybrid. I'm just throwing those out there. Those could have been still very successful, and they could have matured and gotten better with time, like Toyota's done with the Prius.
Correct. And they actually brought that technology to the Camry, and the Camry is still one of the best-selling cars in America.
Right.
Here's what everybody, you have to really think to yourself about this. You're right. It is lost money, and it's lost money on development. But think of this also. You as the customer are paying that loss.
Absolutely.
You're wondering why a car costs $50,000? That's because the automaker got forced by the government to make an electric appliance that cost $120,000 to build, and they could sell it for $60,000. You're subsidizing that car all the way around. You were helping them with tax credits, which is money out of your pocket, because to give somebody tax money back that they did not earn, it has to come from somewhere, and it comes from other people, because that's the way socialism works. And that's socialism. That's car socialism. But now in an automobile manufacturer, when they lose money, they need to make the money back somehow by selling the product to make it back. They can't just make it out of thin air. So you're going to pay for it. That's how that works. So those two automotive manufacturers have lost almost $30 billion between the two of them. We haven't even gotten Stellantis' write down yet, which is going to be massive, because they just killed the 4X everything for Jeep. And that was a lot of money that was pissed away. The Hornet, which we're going to talk about next, that thing dying, there's a lot of money that they have just burned through. The electric appliance charger, God knows how much money they lost in that car. They sold 7,000 of them last year. They didn't even make back their development cost on that car, because it had to cost $50-60 million to develop the car. Where's that money coming from? Us. That's what, and at the end of the day, it's us that's going to end up paying that. And it's horrible to really think about how, and this is not political. This is just a plain old fact. When government gets involved, things get expensive. It's just the way things work. And they're in our automobile business, and ever since they've been in it in the mid 70s, damn, it's gotten expensive, because mid 70s cars were like $5,000, $4,000 for a car, like a regular cheap car to drive to work in. Nothing fancy, nice. Like a Volare, I think was around $5,000. And that was that was the car to get. It was a Volare. But now the average car is $50,000. Average. Nothing special, average. Trucks, a good truck is $70,000.
And they know that the truck profit margin is like an Escalade. We all know is a GMC or whatever, Yukon, whatever, jacked up in pricing for maybe some other features. That's fine. But that's why they promote them so much, is because yes, we're not only subsidizing the company, it's all one big, pie, but when someone buys that $150,000 Lightning or whatever might be the Hummer, technically we're buying that car for them too.
Correct.
Okay. So cool, Meanwhile, someone buys $100,000 LS450 or whatever they are now, gas, that's that customer, or an S-Class, that's your money. That's somebody who's leasing. That's on them. Exactly.
It's on them. So, and honestly, Ford was transparent with the EVs. They still lose $60,000 on every Mustang Mach-E that they sell. I mean, think of this for a second. They're losing $60,000 on that car. Every one they roll out. it's and that's why we have really bad executives at the car companies right now. We don't have a Henry Ford second. The Deuce
Yeah.
was like the ultimate car guy. We don't have a Lee Iacocca. We don't have who's the other guy from General Motors?
We don't even have a Bob Lutz anymore.
Yeah, even Bob Lutz was more competent than these guys. He knew that when someone's going to sell, he's like, to make it go bye-bye. I'll make a Halo car for you. I'll do the Halo car, but we have to build stuff that the families can have. And right now, everything's flipped, and especially at Dodge, everything is flipped on its head. Everything's a Halo car, but there's nothing for the masses.
No.
And that's not the way you stay in business, because I had said this last week, Plymouth Dusters in 1970 made Chrysler profitable. That the cheapest car they had made them profitable because they sold 200 something thousand of them, mostly slant sixes, some 318s, barely any 340s. That car was literally a gold mine for them.
And you used to have back in the day, because I sold plenty of them, lost leaders where they come in for the nice work truck for 13 grand, which is still pretty damn good pricing for a base F1 for whatever. I mean, I'm not knocking. I sold plenty, like I said, but your goal was, it's super cheap. Hey, let's look at the STX. You bump them up a little bit. It's not scoundrel. It's just that's what a lost leader's for. They know they're going to lose here, but let's hope for over here. It's getting people in the door. Mm-hmm. It's getting people coming to your island to look at your product. If everything's 50, I mean, I don't want to go. I mean, I used to love to go, look at the new cars. I mean, before I bought new cars, but okay, Chevy, Buick, Pontiac, whatever, Cadillac, who wants to go to a Chevy store now and just look around for something? I don't know. You go to Chrysler, 68 grand for a Jeep product. Like, what person goes in and goes, I can't wait to sign the dotted line on this thing? I'm sorry. There's no fun in that anymore.
No, it's actually really, and that's why I'm saying this is like the worst time to be into cars, because it's not fun. The magazines aren't fun to read.
No,
because
they're not.
A lot of them, I noticed, I forgot which one it is, but one of them interjects politics into their stuff. And it's like, and I'm literally like, go away with this stuff. It's garbage. It doesn't belong here. And then the other thing is, like, you go onto a lot and there's a lot of just uninspiring garbage on there. Yeah. It's just things you're like, I'm like, okay, this is really bland garbage. I mean, it's like, how many pickup trucks can you look at? It's like,
that's the thing.
And that's why
it's funny. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
That's why when the Bronco came out, there was actually traffic going to dealerships because there was it was something different. It was a unique vehicle. It was something to make people go to look around on a lot and go, oh, they have different versions of this. Oh, it does different things. You know what I mean? It was kind of like something. It had a little pizzazz to it.
Modern retro, like it's retro looking, but it's modern in today in the application of what people want for the 21st century.
Correct. And at this point, like the biggest thing is, if you look at Jeep, and we actually have a little Jeep story. If you look at Jeep is so lost in their way at this point. It used to be the cheapest thing you could buy that could go off-road. And it is so far from that at this point that there's no reason to even think of looking at one, because the technology hasn't changed since I was born. It's literally the same suspension in there. And it's like, why would you buy one of those when you can get a Bronco that does the same things, has basically the same drivetrains, but it actually has an independent front suspension. So when you drive on the road, you don't get that nice death wobble.
Right.
As you hit a bump and you start going over lanes. That's the thing I think that is really missing now from all the automobile stuff, because in the 90s there was still cool stuff to see, but now it's just like it's just
diversity. There was, if you wanted a truck, you want a sedan, you want a coupe, convertibles even. But it's funny you bring up magazines, because when I first came back, I said, you know what? I got somehow an offer for Motor Trend. I haven't had the print in a long time. Oh, why not? 12 issues for, I think like 24 issues for $12. 2 years for $12. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, that's cheap.
I love my Motor Trend. I'm telling you right now, and I'm not saying there's any kind of bias. I really am not. I want to make that very clear.
Mm-hmm.
I canceled, of course, before you had to do it before, because then they auto renew, right? So that was part of the agreement. Whatever, fine. I probably enjoyed, out of 24 issues, and I'm not exaggerating, I'm gonna say 4. One was like, the car of the year, the big issue, which used to be like this thick for the new cars for, let's say, 23 or 99 or whatever. Now it's like this because there's nothing exciting. Literally, it is nothing but, occasionally you hear about, the Mustang Dark Knight or whatever it is. Okay, cool. Then you have Porsche and this and supercars that most people can only dream of. And then for the overall mix, EV. And every article now was basically saying, and I don't want to say political, but it was basically just a onslaught of, this is what you're going to enjoy. It was not even good. It wasn't like, oh wow, this is really cool technology, this is really neat how they're blending electric with gasoline, or the future of like I always talk about, alternative fuels. It every episode was like, you got to be shitting me. I mean, pardon me. It was like, and then one episode in particular, they were talking about electric off-road vehicles, and they made a whole section of their article on the diesel generators they use to charge them when they're doing the tests. So let me make sure I'm under. So and they were like proud about it. They had a whole insert. Like, people ask us, how do we test these cars without charging? Well, we bring these. Well, that's interesting, because what's making the generator work is that evil fossil fuel. And like I said, I have to reiterate, it was not about like, this is the future, or we're seeing this like the turbine car, or this, or what's next for better economy and better environment. No, it is, this is what it is, and you're going to like it. And I literally, I used to like dive into them and read them. I was more impressed. One issue was literally talking about subcompacts, like the Elantra versus the Civic versus the Corolla. And I'm like, this is great. I mean, that's pretty sad, right? Though that was the issues and those used to be fun too, even back in the day, just to see what the Focus, ST versus the, WRX or whatever. That was cool. Mm-hmm. Regular people cars that everyone could potentially get into. No. And it was so bad. I said, and they literally went through one flipping. They were in a recycling bin. I used to keep them. No. Like I said, maybe the Corvette, the Z08, whatever, maybe Mustang versus something, the car of the year issue, which, like I said, you flip through it now. They used to go in depth on up and coming cars, or all the cars listed. They're barely 3 cents on each one. There's nothing that exciting. And I canceled. And I was like, no, this is terrible. And just like I said, the articles alone were so blatantly, and I'm not trying to be political at all. It was just so blatantly, this is what you're going to like, and this is what we're all about now.
Yes, and it literally just telling you instead of talking to you, they're telling.
Yeah, right. You're telling. Yeah. In fact, the one guy, I forget his name. He's been around forever. He's got I think he might be British. Agnes something. What I used to always like his articles and stuff. No, it's almost like they had to follow the script.
Yes, they do.
This is what you're going to talk about in the new automotive world, and you're going to get your paycheck, right? So you're going to talk in every article. This gentleman used to write was very kind of inquisitive, or a little deep diving into something. Maybe made you think about things. No, now it was, oh, this is the answer. Like Mr. Ram. This is the future. It's so
yeah, exactly.
It's almost like delusional. That's the worst part. So yes, I experimented with that again, and sadly, never again will ever have a print copy.
That's something else. Maybe I could make an interesting video on that. This is the demise of the car magazine, because it has nothing to do with that kids don't want paper or whatever. It's the content. It's just like movies. It's the content that's crap. It isn't. Exactly. It isn't that people don't want to read them. It's just what you're printing is garbage, and it's just, guys, it's enough. I mean,
enough. Right.
Oh man. So
and they wonder why it's 24 issues for $12.
Exactly. So here we go. My favorite 4339 JK STX, a great value. Dealer told me 70% of F-150s are those.
Yep.
I see them all over the
Yep.
place down here. They're a
Yep.
work truck. They're a great work truck.
They're basically the work truck with a few odds and ends extra in between the XLT. At least that's what it used to be.
Yeah. Dodge used to have an SXT package. Same concept. Yeah. No, Dodge. Forget about buying a cheap Dodge work truck. That doesn't, or Ram, whatever it's called now. That doesn't exist anymore. Literally, a Ford Super Duty with the 6.7 in it is $10,000 cheaper. And you can buy an extended cab, not a quad cab. You can actually get a truck you'd want, and it's 10 grand cheaper. That I mean, for a business, that's a lot. 10 grand a vehicle, Jesus! You buy 10 of them, that's $100,000. I mean, no. Well, yeah. Oh, there's a whole battle in there about diesels in Canada. Yes, diesels actually, if you plug them in, they're perfectly fine. If you plug in the heaters, they'll be great because the heaters work great and everything gets loose and they'll run fine. The glow plugs, actually, diesels, the glow plugs, you don't even really need them anymore. I've never sat there and waited for them to get hot. Literally, you just flip the
Those
switch.
days are gone. Yeah.
Yeah. That Tipo I had in Sicily, diesel, I didn't even think, actually, I didn't know. I knew it was a diesel, but then I forgot it was a diesel because literally I just turned the key and it started immediately. Yeah. I'm like, this is the way, as they say. This is the way. Speaking of things that are from Europe but don't work here, we're going to talk about my favorite car, everybody's favorite crossover, the replacement for the Charger and the Challenger in a commercial for the Super Bowl. Yes, the Dodge Hornet.
No way.
It's officially dead. I have seen 13 of them. I've driven from coast to coast, and I've seen 13 of them.
Heck, I didn't even see any in California. I mean, that's pretty bad.
That's if you don't sell in California.
Yeah.
To Diesel Larry, does the Ram come with a Cummins? Yes, but it's still $10,000 more, and the 6.7 isn't that bad. The 6.7 is actually vastly improved.
That's a good engine.
It's a good engine.
The 6.4 is where it came from. It's a good engine, yeah.
Yeah. When Dodge debuted the Hornet back in 2022, it was something of an odd child amid all the Hemi-powered Chargers, Challengers, and Durangos that filled the company's dealerships. Aside from it being a small four-cylinder hatchback, it was essentially an Alfa Romeo Tonale. It actually is an Alfa Romeo Tonale. Built in Italy with Dodge face and shipped to America. In the end, it appeared the Italian lineage killed it. Yes, because Italians build terrible cars. I'm Italian. I don't own any Italian cars. You know why? I like getting home. I'm weird on that. I actually like making it back to my house. Seriously. Italian cars don't do that because they're Italian. They're made like they're women. They're temperamental.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Well, trust me. I've lived with it. I can say that.
No.
After going on production hiatus last year, all the tumultuous tariff policy has nothing to do with tariffs. Dodge has pulled the plug on the Hornet. A company spokesman confirmed with CarBuzz the production was ended. It only lasted 3 model years, 23 to 25. Fish out of water. The Hornet was introduced time when Dodge's future looked very different from its V8 powered past. Stellantis was still cruising at that point. And to be fair to Dodge, every automaker was looking for an electrified or all-electric future, still showcasing the Hornet with its turbocharged 2-liter engine amid a flood of last call Hemi Chargers and Challengers, created interesting dichotomy in Dodge's world. It wasn't hurting for power, though. In standard trim, the Hornet had 268 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque, somewhere, and slightly behind the entry-level Dodge Charger with its V6. The RT trim with plug-in hybrid, 288, 383. It was enough to shoot the smartly style hot hatch to the low 5 seconds range, but it didn't have that V8 rumble. The Hornet was a rather awkward rival to its Alfa Romeo sibling. The Tonale was the same thing under the skin, right down to the Hornet's RT's gutsy Feb powertrain. The major difference were the Hornet's front fascia and the price tag, which was considerably lower for Team Dodge. But Alfa Romeo eventually won the 2026 Tonale and returned to America, albeit without a plug-in hybrid. And then they go blaming economy and blah,
How these articles
policies.
are? These articles are written in a way not to actually tell you what the facts are.
Correct. So the fact is, the class that this piece of absolute garbage, and it is, and every test I ever read, actually, there was a YouTube test when they first came out. This guy tests 4-wheel drive vehicles. He can create a whole slip thing to show how good the system works, right? Simple test. Every car did it. He put this thing on there, and the engine went into limp mode, and he had to have a flatbed come take it and bring it back to Stellantis. Just putting it on there where one of the wheels slipped, the car went into limp mode like any Italian product would. It will not work. And yeah. Oh, gee, Canada. Yeah. When the Hornet salesman told me that, yeah, but it's really an Alfa Romeo built in Italy, I told him that's really not a good selling point. No, it is not.
No, it's not.
No.
I would argue, I have to look at the actual stats because it really wasn't made for the entire 1960 model year, but this rivals the Edsel in the length of production.
Doesn't it?
And the Edsel still looks great today. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, if you ask me my opinion, I take the Edsel.
But the Edsel failed because of where it was placed. It was placed between Mercury and Lincoln, so it was in a weird place, and it just couldn't sell.
And they were more expensive. Yeah.
This vehicle was placed in the small crossover category, which is dominated by the Toyota RAV4.
Right.
And the RAV4, it's
not $52,000.
No, but the RAV4 has, a hybrid power plant. They actually make with hybrid power plants. They have all these things. The thing is, the RAV4 does not look ugly, and it's reliable because, at the end of the day, the RAV4 is a Toyota. And they sold. Do you know how many they sold last year? Take a while.
I think you said like 7. I think you said like 7,500 or something.
No, I'm talking to the Toyota RAV4, the competitor to this car.
I think it was like I got probably way off. 250,000.
400,000 RAV4s were sold last year. 400,000 of them. That market is a giant market. This thing is an absolute piece of garbage. That is why it did not sell. It has nothing, because you know what? Last time I looked, the RAV4 is a Toyota. And what is Toyota? Oh yeah, it's a Japanese company. And they had tariffs on their stuff too, but didn't seem to slow their asses down. They seem to sell their cars. And same size, about the same size. Maybe a little slower, but you know what? People buying these cars don't want race cars. They're toting around kids, dogs, cats, stuff, groceries. They literally are just moving from A to B. I don't need a 400 horsepower car to go down to Publix and pick some stuff up and drive home. It really doesn't make any sense in the world to do that. And that's why this thing failed. It really is a disturbing thing that a lot of articles sat there and tried to blame outside sources and not the absolute piece of garbage that this thing is. It is an absolute turd.
And I will slightly disagree. I think the styling is not the death knell of it. It's everything else. I mean, the styling to me I thought was okay, kind of unique looking. I mean, the back end is back there. Well, I mean, I like some funky stuff, but like I said, but that's the icing, we'll maybe say. But everything else is what made it not successful.
Yeah. This is truly not it's not it had a lot going against it, and being Italian built is probably the number one problem. Italian cars have never sold well in America because we all know they are not well made. They're garbage.
But the Renegade.
Oh God.
Isn't that Italian made too? Isn't that correct?
Yes, it is. It's just a Fiat Panda. It is literally you're buying a Fiat Panda. You're not buying a Jeep. That's a Fiat you're driving with the dead eyes in the back. It looks like cartoon in the back. If you look at the real lights, it has the little X's like the
Yes.
and that is just
I've
that's a
driven one.
rebadge.
I've driven one. Yes.
Oh, it's not a great drive.
No.
No. No, it's still safer than a Wrangler because at least it won't give you a death wobble. But still,
like I said, and I try to look at the brighter side. I mean, I can see where if it was super affordable, we're talking like 25 or less, and it was a fun little runabout. The Italian underpinnings, we'll put that to the side for a second. You don't sell it like a Jeep product. You just it's a fun runabout like a Kia Soul or whatever. Okay, it's funky. It's this. It's that. That we can let it go. But then you add the mechanics. You add this. You add that. Then it becomes the real travesty. Because I can see why someone would want the Rango. Ooh, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cute, kind of thing. Whatever, cool. Maybe against the Kia Soul, like I said, as a competitor, that same look or whatever. But there goes Mr. Diesel, my neighbor down the road. But their execution is just terrible. Their execution on what their thought process of all these is just terrible.
The more I look at these cars, what are the cars people are going to be looking for in 10 years? I mean, it's not a pretty sight. There's not a lot of stuff that you're going to want to go out and nothing. No. American is going to be very thin at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's already getting to that point now. That's why I'm seeing a lot more Japanese stuff, imported Japanese stuff for Cars and Coffee, because this stuff from 15, 20 years ago. Yeah.
I see a bunch of, I've seen around my area. I've seen, I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly, a Kai car or Key car. Sorry, pardon me. Not to be confused with our favorite K cars. But yeah, the Key car, and they're all right-hand drives, kind of cool. And you're like, yeah, you have to be, I think, 25 years of age or older to import it, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, they're very funky and unique. And you're right. I'm seeing, even here, plenty of them, which is very intriguing as well.
Yeah, well, in Florida, there is like a direct line. People have set up things to be able to transport them here for like $6,000-$7,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. They get it packaged up and sent over for $7,000. So, all right. Well, we're a little more on the new car, and then we're gonna get some old stuff. But the next, goddamn. So we talked about Jeep real quick, and I just want to show this because this is the contempt Stellantis has for Jeep owners. This is the 85th anniversary Wrangler. It adds retro style without a huge price tag. I read this entire article. There is no price mentioned anywhere in this article. No one in this or nothing in this article can tell me how much this not going to break me Jeep will cost. And I mean, there's no prices in the entire thing. The thing is, they went and they picked probably the ugliest seats you could put in a vehicle. I mean, I don't know who this is marketed for, but that type of style hasn't been used since what, 1970?
Is that like a white insert?
Those are like plaid. They're plaid inserts.
Oh, I can't see. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, they have like a plaid insert. That's like 1970, like 68.
The Gucci edition.
And so, I mean, literally, they just kind of like threw some stuff in here, put some badges on it, and they don't tell us the price that it's going to be affordable. And Jeeps are like $50,000. And SG Canada, cheap. Nothing falls apart like a cheap. No, you're not kidding. It is not a. I don't even understand why people are just, I guess, buy them just for the name, and there's so much aftermarket. Because I've driven that, and I've driven a Bronco. It's not even the same sport. They're literally like, they're not even the same sport. This thing is so outdated at this point. It just feels like an old car, and that's not a good thing. For $50,000, I don't want to feel like I'm driving something really old. No. And I mean, good for them. I mean, the sales are still coming down. They do some things better than Ford did. because they used frame doors. I think frame doors was a better way to go. Ford used frameless, which I don't think
Yeah,
is a
I
great
like that.
idea.
Oh,
Yeah, they actually have more options with the roofs. Ford kind of isn't there yet, but and then Ford rolls us this hold my beer. So now they're having this RTR version, which is basically the Tremor of the Bronco. For some reason, they're not using Tremor on Broncos. RTR is a aftermarket company that does stuff like for Mustangs and Broncos. And they just introduced this at the Detroit Auto Show. And it has these flashy, these are beadlock rims. It uses a lot of Sublime, as I like to call it, on there. And it's made a little more for off-road. It has a lift on it from the factory. Easily has 33s, and Sasquatch got 35s, and you still have room. You can put 37s on this from the factory. It has the Raptor. It has the Raptor cooling fan in there and a bunch of other upgrades in the suspension. It even has a full Fox off-road suspension. So it's supposed to be cheaper than the Raptor. This may be like 70,000, which is still psychotic. But there's your new Bronco model for 2027, the RTR. I just wanted to get that out there.
and I have a question for you. Maybe you can help me answer this. This is what just boggles my mind. And again, I understand a lot of people love the great outdoors and not driving on paved roads, I guess, whatever. But what is actually the market for this? Because, I mean, one is 80% of Americans now independently wealthy that can have these kind of car notes, right? Two, yeah, gas has been dropping a little bit in price, but this is still 1960s rival fuel economy. It could jump right back up. We don't know. It's all. It seems to be fluctuating as we speak. Um, but again, back to even the articles and going back to our past conversation, is this all that seems to be offered? I'm not knocking this. People want it. That's great. But it's like this is the forerunner of everything going on, whether it be this retro Jeep, which really doesn't look retro at all to me, to be honest, and it's in white, which is like the boring. But then you have this. How many more people are going to be able to come out and sign the note for this type of vehicle? I mean, is everyone off-roading? Have all paved roads? I mean, why not offer an expensive, like, 8 Series style American car? I'm just trying to figure out what is everybody else's taste out there.
I think a lot of this has to do with, especially trucks in general, is that the way the government screwed the consumer by the fuel economy standards by using the strong arm tactics of the EPA,
right,
and CAFE. They forced automakers to do the vehicles that weren't as heavily regulated, which are trucks.
Correct. True.
So that's why cars went away in the American manufacturers, which hurts the consumer massively. Because yes, I have a Bronco. My wife wanted one because she likes to go do some light off-roading, but also, we have a business that if there's a hurricane, we need to get to it. And last time she actually forded like 2.5 feet of water, and you're not doing that in a regular car.
I understand.
Drove right through it. Nothing. We can go and do what we need to do, and it's tough. But because of everything that's been done, it gets 60 miles to the gallon. I mean, it's horrible, actually. That's incredibly terrible. And that is where the whole psychoses of this CAFE and EPA and all this stuff, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because if they were allowed to continue building cars like they built in the 90s, we'd be driving cars getting 50 miles to the gallon right now. I'm talking size of a Taurus getting 50 miles to the gallon without anything weird on the inside. Hell, it could have been diesel powered, easily 50 miles. That Tipo in Sicily, I got 47 miles to the gallon with me driving it like an animal, because you just up and down mountains. I mean, in Palermo traffic, and sitting in traffic, I got 47 miles to the gallon with the car. You're not doing that with these trucks. You're not doing that with a regular gas powered big full-size vehicle. And this is truly where the car business itself is a mess, because they're not opposing the government. They're just going along with what they're saying. And until the EPA is abolished, it doesn't. They're gonna go back to where they were. There's no way to stop.
And I'm not just harping on the fuel. There's one point. My biggest thing, in all reality, is that would be a beyond incredible vehicle. And I love your Bronco. I think it's a great, like I said, modern retro. It's a classic, true design. But my biggest thing is, if you also want to get 10 miles a gallon, good for them. That's fine. What really gets me is the sticker. It's like these prices are so asinine. If that was even 45 grand or 40 or less, I could get it. I could understand that. Okay. But one time there was just fun car. We could go back and make a broken record, but it's just, to me, it's more about the pricing of how many more people do they think they can get to purchase these before the well truly runs dry on these. And then they wonder why they're sitting on the lot for 300. And then back in the old days, that was a beyond old age unit. Heck, 90 days. They used to give it away. You could get them in an old age unit, Fluno. I mean, do something. They mark it down big time, whether it be a Fusion or a Mustang or an F-150. I mean, heck, if that thing was lingering into the next year by a month, like I say, it was, this is years ago, but like I remember major sales on 06s going into 07s. Just get them done, because they were 3 months old. They have stuff on the lot now, 2+ years old.
Mm-hmm.
And you wonder why. People can't afford it. That's the big thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the reality of the people that have this idea of how a car is supposed to be, they don't like cars, they don't engineer cars, they don't make cars, and they're telling us how to get cars. And this affects the old cars too, because it also ruined the gasoline. We still have ethanol gas, which why is that still there? Because that literally there's 10%, but it kills fuel economy by like 15%, because it makes it evaporate quicker. You lose more fuel economy than 10%.
And we burn food.
Yeah, we're burning food, which is also really stupid. And it destroys rubber, destroys plastic. It is literally horrible, this stuff, and it's still there. And it affects old cars. It affects my Charger. I had to use treatments in there, and I used my Boostain, which I have a feeling maybe something close to lead. And because I look at my plugs and I'm like, I've seen this color before, and that was a long time ago. And it just boggles the mind, because it's driven the prices up so high that literally the buying of a car now is like what it used to be buying a house. It literally is that same decision level of trauma, and it makes no sense at this point. We did the article, Knuskus, he said every 3 years. No one's running out and buying a car every 3 years. No normal person is taking a 6-year note and buying every 3 years.
No.
And honestly,
those days are gone.
It's long gone. And honestly, we're at the point with all types of cars, including classics, because we're going to get into Mecum soon, and that we've gotten to a point where something's got to give, and usually when that happens, it's not good. When that something got to gives, it's usually bad. It's usually real bad, but it's got to happen, because right now we're at the point where the average car is now 13 years old. Yeah. And in 1970, if you drove a 13-year-old car, you were broke. You were broke. Yeah. They actually going, is something wrong? Like, do you need help? Do you need a job? It
was a beater. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, or if it was your main car, they're like, hey, do you need like some extra cash? I mean, like literally, they would think that you're destitute if you drove a 13-year-old car.
Yeah.
And this is where we're at, and it's really scary. But all right, so a little old car stuff here. I got an email from Year One, because I have bought stuff from them, not often because they charge twice as much for shipping as the part, but nevertheless, I went in there And see, G Canada, even G Canada, with all his money, this guy is loaded, right? He obviously, because he's rolling around. He bought 4 new cars between 2007 and 2017 for just my wife. Now we both drive in 2017. Yeah, I mean, it's insanity. Insanity. Um, it is absolutely insane. So this is. I got an email from year one, and it was on Roadrunner horns are back in stock. So this is year one. There are big parts for a lot of cars, and this is for Chrysler stuff. And this is why you see an old car and it's so much money. Okay, a horn. This is a regular Roadrunner horn from 1968. The horn alone is $90 plus shipping. The purple horns are $100 plus shipping. Plus shipping. And then, of course, your Volare Roadrunner horn is $90 plus shipping. These are horns. These are literally a minor part of the car, and it's $100. When you're trying like a sticker, the voice of the Roadrunner sticker for the horn, if you have one, it's still $10 plus shipping. Regular horns, high low. This is the low. You have to buy 2 of these. It's $60 for a pair of horns plus shipping. Horns. I'm not talking anything that is a that's not necessary. This is a necessary part. They do break, and they are extremely expensive. And these are aftermarket ones. These aren't even original Chrysler type. They're aftermarket, and it's $60 for a pair of them. And this is the psychoses that we are. And then Fluno, we're going over,
Yes.
going over horns because I got an email about Roadrunner horns.
Okay.
And a Roadrunner beep beep purple horn is $100 plus shipping. A horn. This is a horn. It's a horn. that everything's been paid for on it. The voice of the Roadrunner has been paid off years ago. Yeah. A regular horn, like for my Charger, if I had to buy horns, $60 for the high low. $60 plus shipping for a pair of horns.
Jesus.
And you wonder why a classic car is like $50,000 when you go to an auction and try to buy it. Oh, here we go. Horn center emblem for a steering wheel on a Plymouth. $77 plus shipping. $77. Horn relay. $28 for a horn relay. This is for my car. I have 2 of these, thank God. $28 for a replacement horn relay.
Jesus.
Are the horns made in China? Of course they are. I guarantee they're made in China. I guarantee it. I've bought so many parts for my car that were made in China, and they did not fit. Honestly, did not fit. This is disturbing. Literally disturbing. Year one is just absolutely nauseating when they come to parts. This is across all parts for all cars. Chryslers are absolutely the worst. I mean, if you really want to get monkey hammered, own a Chrysler product.
If for fun, search if you want. Yes. Search because I think one of my, as I'm kind of reinvigorating, we'll say the Lincoln on some aspects. Half of my horn, like the same thing, the high low. It might just be the horn bar that's not working, like a short in it. But just for the heck of it, what would like the high low horn be for my Lincoln if they sell them, or do they not do Fords in this?
They only do do mainly Mustangs. Is it the same one though?
Who knows? It might be. No, I don't think so. I think I'm not actually sure. That's fine.
Okay.
Well, look at a Mustang. Let's see what a Mustang goes for. Just for the heck of it.
A Mustang. Okay, so I'm going over and I'm looking at it because this is one of the major. Okay, so that would be electrical, and then we're gonna go look at this and let's see. Find a horn. There's a lot of stuff on this page. Their website has not changed in 20 years.
Look,
And it's
no, it
actually
looks very '05.
yeah. Look, this is what I'm looking
Oh,
at to try to find the part. This
oh
this is
God.
because I didn't search directly for it. So this is kind of where you have all your stuff here and
Like Drudge.
batteries. What?
Just like Drudge.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, here it is. Horns. So this is a Mustang. This is all right. Oh my God. The high note, $38. Low note, $38 reproduction. That's a reproduction, not an aftermarket like the one for the Chrysler is.
So
Now,
$76 total.
if you have an AC one, it's $41. It's $82 for a pair of horns.
Jesus.
Horns. Nothing else, just the horn. And the relays say all the relays are expensive. They're all 20-something dollars for a friggin' relay. A box with a couple wires in it. Wow. The universal ones, $182. There you go. That's $182, Fluno. There you go. You get some horns for your car. This is how insane it is now for
I'm
car
actually
parts.
speechless. That's stupid. Again, the ignition switch for my Z3, which you recommended from Auto House, okay, and it was like not the obviously OEM, but like you said, Flino, buy the non-OEM one. It was less than the horns, and it starts the car.
Exactly. I love it though. Yeah, there's big profit in horns. big profit. But I mean, this is the insanity when you're trying to do an old car, and I'm probably going to do an updated one on restoring a car in 2026, because as bad as it was at the end of 2024, it is now psychotic to try to restore a car. Paint has gone parabolic. Literally, paint at this point, you're talking for just regular paint, you're talking $400-500 a gallon. A gallon. Paint. Now, I'm not talking red or blue. I'm talking like just a regular, like black or tan or green, even regular green. But if you did, red adds another 100 to the gallon. Primer's 250. Good primers, 250. I mean, that's why a paint job is 10 grand and up now. The materials
stupid.
alone, on a car, the materials alone, they may be in it for 3 grand in materials. That's not even any overhead or paying any help. That's literally materials. You're 3 grand in a car.
And that was the fun of restoring, whether it be my Lincoln or your car. It doesn't matter. You pick the classic car. It could be that 76 Nova. It doesn't matter, right? It could be an 84 Buick. I'm just saying, it's like the fun is out the window now, because a lot of stuff you could do on your own or piecemeal, and things take time. Great, you do the mechanics first, then you worry about the body work. Yeah, and some things, like I said, even with my Lincoln back in the day, okay, this is $200 because it's only one car made for this and this. Fine, whatever. But you waited on it and you finally got it. Okay, let's put it to you this way: I got new old stock leather for my car. Well, it was from a '66 convertible, but it all fits, and it was in good shape. I got the leather, all the leather. This is back in '04 for $250. To install it was an extra like $200+. But because of all the hog rings and this, and just pulling those seats out and all the meticulousness, that was worth the money. So for $500, though, I pretty much gave myself well-maintained, pre-owned leather in a car. Classic car.
Now you can't even do one of your seats for $500.
See,
you can't.
And I saved up for that. I mean, obviously, like I said, it wasn't like cheap. I was making less money, but when it got done, it was worth it, saying, hey, look what happened in this section of my restoration.
Right. No,
I used to get a whole set of carpet for $200. I've never done it. I don't care. But carpet was dirt cheap overall.
Carpet hasn't gone up that much.
Okay,
The other
that's
interior
good.
stuff is psychotic now.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And emblems are painful. Actually,
Yeah,
emblems are painful.
Yeah.
My emblems are now $70 a piece for my car.
Just stupid.
So yeah, so that's that. I mean, we are really yeah. Rooney, here we go. Rooney. Good to see you here. When I was a kid, people would repaint their car for fun. Now it's like a year's salary. Yeah. I mean,
right.
it is disturbing. And it isn't that these guys are trying to rip you off. My friend's a painter. And he did a hood and the top of a Charger. He was $1,800 in materials on a black car. $1,800. Not a full repaint, just doing the hood, the trunk, and the roof. Like, not even into the trunk, not even the whole trunk, just the back and the roof and the hood. $1,800 black. And he didn't even bring it down the metal. So he didn't have to do too much prep on it, but he still absolutely got destroyed on just materials. I mean, the respirators, they're like $50 a piece now for the filters. And then when you go and all the tape's like $10 a roll now, all the paper, all the disposables are stupid expensive. And this is where we are. You can't I mean, honestly, painting a car, you're making a real big decision. And you can't even go to these Earl Scheibs now because God knows what they're putting on the car. I mean, you don't even know what.
I was about to bring that up. If you just want, like, my very first paint job on my Lincoln, which was like in 2000, and it was kind of not even that bad, but it was definitely economy, and they matched me. It was nice. I think it was like $800, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in 07, I actually had a much more formal job when they put the new vinyl roof on, which I only paid for $180 for, which was actually new old stock with the proper stitching on it. Okay. Even that, and he took off most of the metal, this and that. I mean, the trim work out the door for everything with the new vinyl roof installed and everything was $1,600. And that was right across from Lincoln Land with a quality. It wasn't like some half-ass guy, And again, I mean, I'm not saying it was, number one showroom quality, but for what it still looks good today.
Yeah, because it was done well. But that paint job now is an $8,000 paint job.
No. Well,
that is $8,000 worth of work now, without blinking an eye at this point. That's $8,000, and that's where we are in the car hobby.
There's no fun. No.
Oh no, it really isn't. And I get a lot of comments, and I read your comments. Everybody, I do read your comments, and there are a lot of people that just like, I used to do cars, I used to paint them, I used to restore them, whatever, and I got tired of getting my ass kicked. I put $30,000 into a car, and somebody would be nickel and diming me because I put it out for 40, and it's just like, yeah, and that's why if you're going out and looking at a car to buy, if the body's done, buy the damn car. I honest to Christ, just buy the damn car, because everything else you can do pretty much inexpensive. Well, except if you want an RB or a Hemi, and if it's a Chrysler, because that will break you. A 440 will break you. That's like $15,000 now to get a 440 done.
And it used to be where if you want to drop, and we always used to joke even back in the day, like a $15,000. This is back in the day, a $15,000 paint job or a $3,000 paint job, they're both going to scratch, right? Okay, right. If you just wanted a great fun, now if you want to go full tilt number one concourse, good for you. You had the dough. But it used to be where you dropped a few grand over a couple of years. You had an awesome driver that looked sharp, might not be perfect with a little wave here and there, a little orange peel, but no one cared because the tires were shiny, the paint looked good, your trim looked okay, and you were doing it because you were on a budget and people respected it and they knew what you were going for, like a good solid number 3, a good driver that you're not worried about. Like even my new car, there's a scratch on it. Well, it's going to happen. But now those days are gone. So basically, why would I put $10,000 on a regular paint job only to worry that I'm going to have a rock thrown into it?
Correct. Yeah. So speaking of pricing and all this insanity, Meekum is going on right now in Kissimmee, and I'm probably not going to be able to make it just because my whole week's been something. And then, of course, it's going to be miserable tomorrow. And then I have all stuff on Friday and the stuff. So basically not going to happen. But we can look at the results because I have a Mecum account. And this is fascinating. So this is in like run order. Okay. And I just kind of want to show on this front page how odd this is. The bid goes on means there was a reserve and it didn't sell. Okay. So this 1940 Plymouth Special Deluxe, good looking car. I mean, not seeing it personally, $9,000 wouldn't go any higher. And it was run early, so maybe that was a problem. But then look at this thing. So this is what makes my mind just kind of spin. This is a yes, G Canada. It is going to be miserable for me. I'm used to it to be 92 degrees outside. Trust me. This is not fun.
Oh, last week you bitched about that.
It gets tiring, but I'm okay with it. But more than 30.
Should I know any difference after 32 years of experiencing this type of behavior? I'm so sorry.
Remember, I grew up in New York, so this is like a pastime. So here we go. 1973 Plymouth Barracuda with a transplanted 440 in it. And this car actually sold for $28,600. This car sold for $28,600, and I'm trying to figure out how. This is where the insanity comes in. The interior is okay. So somebody put a 446 pack in there. It's not particularly nice. I mean, it's filthy. Has cheapo hoses here. Has the wrong fan shroud. Zip ties on the non correct heater hoses. Sloppy, dirty engine compartment. A Cardone power brake booster, a Cardone window wiper, off the shelf electronic ignition. And of course wiring that was done by somebody that didn't know what the hell they were doing. And this car brought $29,000. $29,000. Look at this engine compartment, because this is the money right here. The engine compartment's the money. And I'm thinking this car was definitely, the purple was not available. The car looks like it was red because you can see some paint right there. There's some paint there and it was red. But this car, and it has rust. I see rust here where the battery mount is. This car went for $29,000 and it looks absolutely horrific. And this is the problem. A sucker is born every minute.
The wheels.
Oh, the wheels are horrible. Absolutely just oh wait, there's tears in the seats. The seats are torn. $29,000. And you have a carpet. The carpet's torn. Holy, I mean, come on. I mean, this is why we have a problem right now. This is the problem right now, because cars like this are grabbing $29,000 for no apparent reason, because it's just an e-body. A car didn't sell very well. Here, somebody had a reserve on a 81 Chrysler LeBaron. They had a reserve on the car.
Oh, God.
Look at this Corvette. $99,000. Yes, it's a split window, but take a real good look at this car. Jeez. This car is a train wreck.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to spend $200,000 to make this car acceptable as a Corvette, because Corvettes are expensive to do. Yeah. And I mean, the interior is not very nice. It's very, very worn. The engine compartment is, well, disgusting. Wiring's all bad. It has fuel injection in it, so good luck with that.
Right.
I mean, it had air conditioning that doesn't work anymore. I mean, you're talking, $60,000, $70,000 to make it okay. But it's a Corvette, so then the paint job's going to be $30,000 on this car, because it's a Corvette. I mean, they're hard to paint. You have to you can't just go to anybody and have them paint a Corvette. And that's where we are. That this car brought $100,000 because it's a split window. Not basing it on anything that it's actually okay. and then the pickup trucks that didn't sell. And yeah, here we go. This is actually one of the best deals there. The 75 Swinger with a 360 in it. It was $66,000, and
That's cool.
With the Vig, you were under $7,000 for a fast car, a
Mhm.
fast sleeper car. Questionable seats in it, but who cares? This is a fast
So,
car.
and it's a hardtop.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it is,
It's
isn't
a,
it?
yeah, it's a two-door hardtop.
Look at that. And
I mean,
honestly,
that's fun.
that's a fun little car for $7,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Rooney. A fuelie car is big money, but trying to fix that is even bigger money. I'm trying to rationalize $100,000 for something that you're going to dump over 100 in.
Well, heck, most people back in the day when new took them back to the dealership and swapped it out for the carburetor. It was that, and it was just too ahead of its time.
Yeah, just like the Chrysler one, because Chrysler had one done by Bosch, and it was just too complicated.
And so did Mercury. Actually, I found out recently on their Turnpike Cruiser back in '57.
So I'm gonna wait. Let's get ourselves nauseous, because let's look at just Dodges and Plymouths, not even Lincolns, because this is always where the insanity arrives. Because honestly, like, okay, I saw this tragedy. This is my car. It's the 72 SE, done very untastefully. This car brought $22,000. It's a real 440 car, which is great. I mean, 440 cars are, they should come money, but the interior on this car is bad. I mean, you would get this would. I don't know what this is out of, but that's not a 72. And you just have really poor choices in this car that just don't see this Fluno, the seats,
Yes.
the tweed seats out of I don't know what.
That's terrible. That's a very like 90s or 80s when they would you see like the GM steering column thrown in because they couldn't find something that worked. Oh, that's terrible. That's like a velour. That's
It's
like
bad.
from a that's terrible. That's like from a Magnum or something.
The car has the wrong seat belts in it. That's not the right seat belt in this car. Because they're installed wrong. Oh my God, they're installed wrong. This long part is supposed to be over here. It's the retractable part. And this short part is supposed to be by the console. So the seat belts are installed wrong in this car. So much care was taken. The cover for the light's missing. It's usually $3. And then here we go. In the engine compartment. And ooh, we got shiny. Yeah, 440 with headers on it. You'll never get the starter out of the car. Cool. And then the questionable paint job.
And the wheels.
And the really questionable wheels. And everything. The SE logo that's supposed to be over here is over here. I mean, this is an abortion.
Yeah.
It has the wrong taillights on it. Throwing SE emblems everywhere on the car just because why not? And this car sold for $22,000. And I guess it's somebody's taste. Yeah. It is literally this is just an absolute abortion of a car. And these headlight doors, these need to be repainted. They're actually the paint's faded on them. I did mine. Oh yeah, and there's a piece of chrome trim on the hood, and it's missing on the fenders. This is quality, and actually, this is what I do in my spare time. I can pick a car apart. Like if you want somebody to look at a car for you, I'm the guy. I'm the guy to look because I can absolutely tear a car apart. I absolutely can tear a car apart. It's just I'm good at it. And this is bad. This is like a $10,000 car because you have to do so much to make it not embarrassing. You roll into a Mopar show with this, you're literally going to get laughed at. You will get laughed at with this car. They will snicker behind your back because this is an utter disgrace. The seatbelt's in wrong. That's the piece de resistance, as they say. The seatbelts are in wrong.
That's just tacky and
so bad. It is so bad. But here, a Dodge Dart, 27,000. It's a 340 Dart, 20. That's actually not bad. These things, all right. So all you people out there, I want this to be a learning lesson for everybody out there. These cars are not collectible. Repeat with me. These cars are not collectible. These cars are not collectible. They're not going to be worth anything. Drive the hell out of them. Drive the hell out of them. Don't try to make money on them. This is a 2008 first edition 6.1 Hemi car. First edition. 106,000 miles, which is actually pretty low mileage for that older car. Right?
Yeah.
It's 18 years old. This car went to 11.5 and it went nope. And this guy had a reserve on it.
Oh.
And this car is literally worth maybe that, if that. He went and he put demon wheels on it. He went and it's number 1200 out of 6400. So what? Has the wide body kit added on it. So they added money to this car. You'll never get any of it back. It doesn't matter. The car is just a disposable thing.
Yep.
These Challengers and Chargers from 2008 forward are not collectibles. There's nothing about them are collectibles. Yes, 439 JK. 4-door Wranglers are 100K. Yeah, the 392s, they're 100K, and then they do a markup on them just because they can. Just because they can. You know, I mean, it's
what
so
you could buy for $100,000.
Here we go. Some sucker. See, here, the funny thing is, all right, this is a 2023 SRT Demon 170. It's sold for 130. You go, wow, that's awesome. The guy probably paid 150 for this car.
Ugh.
Nobody paid sticker for these things. So the fool, because then you pay 10%. So the guy only made 120 on this car, and the guy buying it paid 140. So here's a car, has 83 miles on it. I'm gonna make money. And
yep, right.
You didn't. You just didn't. These cars are not going to be investable either, because the problem with the supercharged cars is once they're out of warranty, good luck. That engine has a problem. You're going to be screwed. You're out 20 grand. Have a nice day. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Oh my God, it's Corona 440. How you doing? It's okay, man. We're actually going over Mecum now. We're doing really fun stuff. I'm tearing cars apart. It's great. Yeah. So this has been, I mean, everybody, they're running around like these cars are going to be something because, Stellantis said there weren't many of them, but that doesn't make something a collectible. No. They only made 4,000 Jaguar XE station wagons, right? Yeah. But nobody's beating down
the X types.
X types. Right? No one's beating down the door to buy those. They're rare. It's a rare car. There aren't a lot of them made. No one wants it.
It's funny you say that because I was at Lincoln Land. For those that know, it's a place in Clearwater that focuses on Lincolns, and we were looking at this one vehicle that was like a cream. It almost looked like a 70s car color combo 10 years in advance. And it was a 64 Lincoln, which I do like that particular body style of the restyle of the 61, but it was like a creamish flesh tone, and the interior was like brown. It was basically a two-tone brown and beige, right? And the owner of Lincoln Land was joking and saying, hey, this is a really rare color combination. And he says, you know what that means? He said, it means no one wanted it back then either. Okay. So rarity does not necessarily mean outstanding. And that's a big misconception with, heck, they only made 11,060 of my coupe. Maybe, and they use them for demolition derbies. There's probably only a few thousand actually left. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a crappy car, but it's not worth $100,000 just because there's only a few thousand left out there. And it's just funny how what people consider, because it's rare, that does not constitute doubling the price on it.
So here we go. 2013 Challenger. This is I guess the first year of the the redesign.
Yeah.
This guy put a Viper engine in it, right?
Okay.
15,000 miles. He only got 31,000. You know, doing the drivetrain on this car cost over 10 grand. This person got annihilated on this car.
And
There's
now it's
no
not
way
even
you made
original.
money on this car. There's no way.
Yeah. And now it's quote unquote customized, but it's not original. So, I mean, I'm just kind of like that. I kind of like originality. That's just me. But just because you swap something out to make it cool for you doesn't mean it's going to be
Cool for
worth
someone
X a
else.
month. Right.
Yeah, I always tell people about when they have cars and they want to make these decisions to it. I'm like, paint it back the original color. Trust me.
Absolutely.
It's safer that way.
Absolutely.
It is so much safer. Well, here we go. Dodge Viper. These cars have no value. And I really
Amazing.
mean that. This one went for $40,000. It's a 2004. I mean,
Wow.
this is the second gen Viper, and no miles on it. And the thing is, who can use this car? I mean, these cars are loud. You can fit two people in them. They're kind of watertight, sort of. I mean, this is a toy's toy. And those engines also not very reliable. The V10 is a pretty bad engine. It has a very weak valve train. It drops valves basically for fun. So, I mean, it's just kind of a thing. Here we go. G Canada. Hoovy bought a Demon. Cheap. Ended up spending a bucket of money on it. But that's what his channel. Yeah, but I mean, he was able to make it back by having people watch it and all. But, if the average person goes, they're going to just be like, holy crap. They'll probably lose their wife, lose their girlfriend, lose their dog. I mean, it's that's a life crushing decision right there. A Kowalski edition oil? No, any of the new Challengers just aren't. I know what you're talking. That's the Vanishing Point one. Not really. None of those cars are really big money because they made a lot of them. They're all the same for many, many years, and there's really no distinguishing between any of them. Plus, any day Stellantis could just make a replacement for it. That's what happened with the Durango owners. All the last call Durango owners got screwed because they came back with V8s again. So here's a rear truck, $14,000 for a Shelby pickup. If it runs, that's a good price. Dark convertible. Here we go. Slant 6. We got a slant alert. $13,000. Good looking car. Let's see. So, Coronet 440 said there was a little red over here. I got to find it here. Chargers are just giant money. $71,000. He put RT badges on it. It's a 383 car. It's a nice car, but it's $71,000. That's what you're gonna for any of the second gen Chargers. You're gonna pay a lot of money. You're gonna get absolutely monkey hammered, just because it's a Charger. Panther Pink. Wow. If this is a real car, it's a slant 6 Panther Pink. Is it really a real color? Original build from parked for 30 years, drivetrain, finish in Moulin Rouge because it's a Plymouth. And let's see if it has FM3 on the fender tag. I have a feeling it's not real. I don't see a fender tag because FM3 is the color for it. Is the color code for Moulin Rouge and Panther Pink. Very rare colors, only half a year. That's why they're so desirable. They only sold it for 6 months.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's a Hellcat. 79,000. And I bet it has no miles on it. Yeah, so this person paid $80,000 for the car. It has 37,000 miles on it. And look, he got $80,000 for the car.
Yeah.
I mean, it can only go down from here. It has no miles on it. It's a brand new car still. Jesus. And so this has gotten. Oh, here we go. Here's a little. Here's actually a more expensive little red. Hey, Coronet. This is 79, the fastest vehicle in the United States in 1979. A little red
Right.
express truck. And this one's a very nice example. Sold for $29,700, 33,000 miles on it. Holy crap! Wow. And this thing is absolutely looks like it has that much mileage on it. This thing's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Look at this thing. This is a hell of a vehicle. Wow. Just has maintenance done to it. Doesn't have like they change the hoses and stuff. Big deal. Still has the stickers on the valve covers. Still has the awful nest of wiring because that's the way these looked. It's a Chrysler. What do you want? 79? You're lucky the thing was held together with bolts. Yeah, the bed.
But that's a really unique vehicle for that price point, though, too.
Yes, it is. Original wheels on. Those are the wheels that came on it. Those are the wheels. I think they are. Because I used yeah, G Canada. Only Dennis would know Moulin Rouge was a half-year option. I just know it because it's car stuff, and I just know stuff like that. It's just stupid. But yeah, it was a half year. That and the what was it? The green. It was like sassy grass. Not sassy grass, but one of the greens was also it was spring colors. So they had the green and actually no, it was sassy grass and it actually continued on. Moulin Rouge didn't. It was weird. They didn't think it through that those are aftermarket. Yeah. Usually you end up seeing that's right. They came with really weird looking wheels. They were like American racing style, I believe. But that's day 2 stuff. That's fine. A Prowler for 29 grand. Let's see. So the the Chrysler didn't think through the pink car. And let's see. Here's that. Another Prowlers are starting to come out because most people don't like them because they're 2 doors and they don't have a real roof and they're V6 powered.
Yep.
Hellcat wide body sold for $71,000, so they lost money on this car. 3-year-old car. Here is a Go Man Go Challenger convertible because it's e-body. Sold for $137,000. Yeah, shaker car. It's an e-body. And
it's a rag top.
Yep. Yeah. White. I think it has a white top on it. White top. 383. Cool. Was a 383 car. So this is a little bit of money for a non-original engine. Rotisserie. Fender tag. Blah blah blah. Has a lot of black stripe on it. Thank God, because this would be a painful car in all orange. Slapstick. Nice. Build sheet. Look at this.
That's cool.
It's got its. I have mine.
I have mine too.
Let's see. So let's go in here and pick out. All right. So it had color, trim. So there. So it is K2. So it is Go Mango. So that's what that color is, and it has. There's the code for the 383 4-barrel, and let's see what else it has. The wheels, it had 23s, which are road wheels. So it did not come with rallies; it came with road wheels. Front sway bar, and the nicest steering wheel, 81 power steering. Oh. Yeah, so this is like means everything to an old Chrysler is this broadcast sheet. This is how they assembled the car, was using these codes on here. And I have a book that deciphers every part of this. And so I don't put a lot of it to memory because I have the damn book. 3X, V3X. 3X. Is that should be a black top, right? That's a black top. And it was not. It was a '05, so it was just a dealer, a Y05 car. It was just a dealer lot car. It wasn't even
Huh.
special ordered. The T-Pal. Are road wheels and rally wheels the same thing? No. A rally wheel for Chrysler. Oh, actually, you know what it is? 23 is this wheel with the dog dish. That is the right wheel for this car. A road wheel is the Magnum 500s. Chrysler called them road wheels. Now, a rally wheel is the ones that are silver. You should be able to find one on here that has rallies on it. Did any car have a rally on it? And they came in two flavors, 14 and 15 inch, because the 15 was the optional tire on all cars except for Hemis and 446 packs. They got 15s standard. So they would have a steel wheel or a rally. The road wheel, the Magnum 500, came only in a 14 inch on a Chrysler product. Here is a rally wheel. That is a rally wheel. It has a trim ring and a center cap on it. Well, that's a nice Barracuda. Oh, it's a 383 car too. Ooh, 28, not bad. But a road wheel. See if I can find a car with a road wheel on it. The Chrysler. Oh, here it is. This is a road wheel, and it's a Magnum 500. A lot of Chrysler guys went to 15s. They used Ford because Ford fits Chrysler, and Chrysler does not fit Ford. So the only difference with
Those
the
are sharp.
Ford, what?
Those are sharp. I like it with the red wall.
Yeah, on these cars, these wheels look great. On my car, it doesn't look so awesome. It's just kind of a thing. It's the design thing. But the difference between the Ford one and the Chrysler one is, I think, the shininess of them. These are actual Chrysler ones. These aren't the Ford ones. These are actually, this is a very original, scary original car. 60,000, good deal. But yeah, and the Ford ones are just slightly different. But that's the difference between the two types of wheels. And yeah, and this is original red lines, and you can get blue streaks or red lines back then. It wasn't just all white walls.
Right.
And they put striped tires on everything because my car had rally wheels and white walls. It was a thing to make the car look nicer. You end up getting a walled tire on it.
Yeah.
So here we go. 20. Look, oh my God, they paid way too much for this car. 2010 Challenger RT, 6-speed, $21,000, but it has a lot of work done to it. Here we go. A Woody.
That's cool. Yeah.
32 grand, didn't sell. Red Eye, $66,000. This person lost money. These cars are not investments, guys. 6,000 miles. Guy didn't enjoy it, and he lost money on it. 66,000. Because these cars were 90 when they were new. You lost money, and you sold it at an auction. Jesus. So, yeah. This is why does it always go to the top? I hate that. But I mean, honestly, not a lot of Chargers. Here's a Hemi Cuda, 180,000. It can't be real. Let's see, what does that say? 426 correct date coded block. This has rally wheels on it. 15s. No fender tag. Oh, here we go. Oh, it is a Hemi car. Holy crap! And it's in Lemon Twist Y1. This is actually a pretty rare car. Wow. And it's also a torque flight car, automatic, a Rob car. Look at that. And it should say N96 on here for the air grabber, N96. And N97 is for the shaker. So there you go. That is a real Hemi Cuda that did not sell. There must be something wrong with this car. 180,000. Nobody wanted to spend the money on it. Wow. Think of that though. A Hemi car didn't sell. 10 years ago, this car is they're bidding all day for this car, and it would gone $250,000 because the convertibles go for millions. So yeah, so this is where I think that we're starting to see a lot of cracks in the armor here, because Chryslers are the ones that always bring really huge money, and they're really not. I mean, it's a lot of. There's actually some good deals here. I mean, honestly, ooh, look at this. There you go, 15 grand a Fury sedan. Look at that car. Look at that.
My dad had one of those actually.
Ooh, look at this, 71 Roadrunner, 50,000. Jesus. Oh, an LO23 super stock, a real super stock, $93,000. I mean, it's not streetable, but it's $93,000 for one of 80. The market is getting soft, and that's okay. Oh wow, look at this, $13,000 for a convertible.
That's all me right there. That's awesome. That is.
Yeah. That is awesome, man. Charge, yes, but the Chargers are still expensive, and so are Challengers. But yeah, the regular stuff's come down in price massively at this point. It is gotten a little. The market's gotten weak, and it's starting to really show. These never bring any money. The original Chargers, nobody wants them.
That's sharp. See, I'd actually would own that. That's a good looking car to me.
They're cheap. You could probably on a 383 car too. It's a big block. You could probably get, buy this car 30,000, probably 30 grand. You walk out the door with this car. Look at it. Look at the interior. Those seats fold down, and the seats fold down in this car. It's a real 4-seater.
Yeah,
this is a 4-seater car. There it is. There's the 383 with the exhaust manifolds. Car's actually a decent car.
Nice color combo too. The white with the red.
Yeah, this is a nice car, and it won't sell because it's a 1966 Dodge Charger. It just won't sell. Nobody wants these cars. Sad, isn't it?
It is.
Oh wait, hold on. The T-Pal. What year and model car did Howard Stern's father buy him? He bought him in 1971, 72 Polara. It was a Polara. The movie is actually incorrect. It was not a Dart. He bought him a Polara. Good night,
my mom
Vintage.
had a 71 Polara.
All right, Vintage. Good luck. Make some more of those videos. I like your stuff, man. Yes, a build sheet. Yeah, you are lucky when you have that, because they disintegrated. They weren't made to last. They're just really cheap paper. Mine's in a acid proof sleeve in my safe, because I carry copies with me. Everything, all my other stuff is copies. I never touch the original anymore. I saved it. So yeah, but this is literally, oh my God, an original. I mean, a original Super B with a 4-speed in it, $57,000. I mean, this car is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Look at this car. This is, and it's the right color. It's red. Oh, nice. Red interior. Jesus Christ.
Beautiful.
Ram Charger. They had the right tires. It is. I can't read any of this. It is a red car. It's an R6. Yeah, this is an original fender tag. That is an It is a red car. This is a rally red car. Holy mackerel. It is the real deal. White stripe on it. That's a sharp car. That is a sharp car.
Yeah.
Wow. 60. Wait. Did it roll over? No, that didn't roll over. That was like 6,300 miles on this car. The car looks like it has 6,300 miles on it. Rare 6. Actually, I have a friend that has an R6 car. It's a 69. I have a friend that has the same car, and it is R6. The same color. It's basically the same car, except it's an automatic. Wow. And it's a Los Angeles car, which are usually really weird. Los Angeles, actually, the funny thing about Los Angeles, they actually had a different font for a lot of the stuff. Like this fender tag, the font is actually slightly different. And on some of them, they were never consistent, because it's LA, and you expect stuff like that from there. But yeah, this is a pretty neat car, and that's a hell of a deal for this car. because you don't do anything to it. It's perfect. You just basically have to clean it and put gas in it. $57,000. Nice car.
Mm.
So cool. Yeah, so things are getting a little more sane over in Kissimmee. And I don't know, T-Pal. Red interior, the red exterior. It's a little much red for me. It's a lot of bit red to me. But you know what? It's just that's the car of the day, though. I mean, because I guess double red is better than double green.
That was also very
Very, very popular. There is.
That's why my mom's Polera was. My mom's Polera was in Lincoln territory, like dark Florentine gold. That would be the clothes, but it was like that. Basically, it was like that Challenger color that came back that Guido had. Dennis, that green was on my mom's Polera, and the interior was like green with like paisley and silver. It was actually good looking. Unfortunately, it no longer is with us anymore.
Yeah. Well,
Had a 360.
But the thing is, there is, and I got to find the story. There are 2 Roadrunners built on Christmas Eve. One is red with a green interior. One is green with a red interior. They did it on purpose. The guy that built the cars at the beginning of the line typed it in. It's on the fender tags, red and green. They made Christmas cars because they were pissed off that they had to work on Christmas Eve. So they made red and green, a red and green Super B, Roadrunner. Yeah, and they sent it to. Could you imagine being in the dealership?
Shoddy construction.
But no, could you remember being at the dealership and that car comes in? You're going, "What the hell am I going to do with this?"
Right.
Like, what am I doing with this? I can't sell this car.
That'll be an old age unit very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm T-Pal. I'm tired of black interiors because usually when somebody modifies a car, they immediately throw a black interior in it, and it's like you have no imagination. Any color, please, any color. Like on a red car, throw a tan interior in there. That looks really nice. That's a sharp look. Throw a tan interior in there. It's okay, man. But
very European looking.
Yeah, I mean, don't throw black. If it didn't have a black interior, please don't put black in there. The other one I don't like white because it's just there's no way to keep it clean. And if the car's originally white, that's fine, but don't do a car and then do a white interior. No. There are so many colors you can make an interior that are kind of cool. White and black aren't them. Even on some cars, there are some colors of green that are actually really cool that you can do to actually make it match like the outside of the car, kind of bring it in, do a whole thing. Yeah. Red, you could do red. A white car with red interior, that's boss. Yeah. That's sharp. Yeah. So many Cadillacs would have done that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, here it is. Red Cadillacs in the day had white interior. Yeah. And they just look sharp. I mean, that's just literally, that just looks like money.
My parents' Cadillac had a white. It was dark blue carpeting with white. Of course, the seatbelts became more like a brown tinge over the years, but
a little filthy.
Was a sharp looking. Unfortunately, it just would. But it was a beautiful with that dark blue interior. I mean, on the carpeting and the dashboard with the white leather seats, it really popped, and dark blue exterior.
Yeah, white never looked great because the carpet and the dash are black, especially in a Chrysler. I mean, you defaulted if you didn't have one of the main colors for a dash, the dash was going to be black. So you had a white interior and this black, giant black thing in front, black dash. And it's it just doesn't look right. Like, I'm lucky my car's gold interior, gold dash. I don't have a black dash. I kind of like that. And then if you had a blue car, you got a blue dash. It's something different. You can't. That's right, Jamie Cotton. You can't go wrong with tan. Tan is like a universal color. It really is. It really is one of those colors that goes. Was my 95 BMW. It has a tan interior. It is teal with a tan interior. It is a sharp ass looking car. Sharp car. Because it just has a nice. It kind of complements the outside. Oh. All right, wait. G Canada, the crushed velour interior of the old 80s Lincoln Town cars was the most ugly and comfortable things you ever sat in. Yes. It was like
Yeah.
it was like grandma's couch without the plastic on it.
Those are
I see. I don't know any couches until like I lived on my own. Couches that didn't have plastic on them. I thought that was just the thing, but I just I realized you didn't have to have plastic on your couch.
people like our friend Dan, his first Continental actually from the factory had plastic, not wrapped, like as in shipping. It was plastic. It was called a silver cloud interior. Absolutely beautiful. It was like basically like a blue silver with like this leather
Ooh.
with inserts of like silver, but it was wrapped from the factory in grandma's plastic for your sofa. That was an vogue thing to do. Yeah.
That was an option. It
Yeah.
literally was an option. Okay, so he brought up T-Pal brings this up, and I have to show it because this is the coolest interior. This is when the guys at Chrysler were really kind of smoking hard. Look, I mean, this is as pimp as it gets.
Yeah.
Go make a big. That is as pimp as it gets. They had the red, white, and blue striping on it, and you had your red dash and the red, white, and blue striping on the door. I mean, they did everything on this car, and it came with a slant 6. Literally, the base engine of this was a slant, 225 slant, not even a Super 6, a 225, just one barrel slant 6. That was your base engine in this. But they gave the coolest interior. The seats fold down, and you had either a cloth. You could have a cloth convertible top, like a sliding sunroof, or a crank sunroof. Wild car. Yeah. Yes, it's an Italian thing to have. That's why I didn't know you're not supposed to have plastic on couches. It was just a thing. I don't know. I didn't know from that. But yeah, but the great big takeaway is that the car market is the old car market is really soft right now. And the days of just going out and buying something and flipping it for twice is over. Those are it's done. A lot of those cars were pretty nice and sold for pretty fair value. A good car in the 20s, you're not going to go wrong with that. Especially if it's been painted and it runs. You're ahead of the game, and you got something fun to have. But the days of those cars bringing 50 grand seem like they're pretty much over at this point.
Well, a friend of mine, and he's got a great budget because he's well off. He's an attorney, and he's got a beautiful Indian motorcycle, yada, yada, yada. He have kind of helped him with his classic car purchasing, whatever. And he's looking at, based on my recommendations, like a 65 convertible Thunderbird. He's like, Mike, you're right. I mean, he's finding mint, not altered, not molested. Mint. I mean, they might be restored, but they're original style, low 30s. And I mean, for a car that is like brand new. And it's just amazing what is popular, what is not. These are incredible cars and loaded. I mean, most of them had AC, electric windows, this and that. They were a wealthier person's personal luxury coupe or convertible. And yet they still don't pull like no one would buy. I'm sorry, like a 2010, that's great, RT, whatever all these are.
Right.
They're not going to hold value because somebody along the line figured, because I don't really believe, Dennis, that back in 71, they thought, let's make this interesting yellow because 50 years from now, it'll be $300,000. They just made it because, that was in vogue. And
Correct.
no one thought a shoebox Ford would one day be a hot rod car. It was just what it was going on at the time. No one in the 20s certainly thought that it would be hot rods 20, 30 years later. So it's just funny, though, how like some of these, there's so many beautiful cars out there that are not ridiculously overpriced for what you're getting. And I think it's just, beauty or collectability is in the eye of the beholder, in my opinion. Late 60s Lincolns are still like mine after 66. are still not as desirable per se. They've gone up in value because people want them, but they're still not the 61 to 63. And then you have 64, 65 in between. They're kind of a nightmare in some ways, but I think they're sharp. But 66 to 69 are still very, very affordable, and they're obviously amazing luxury vehicles. So I think a lot has to do with just pop culture, what people been, like I said, anyone telling people that your 2022 Chrysler Lotus, I'm saying they're fun cars, but don't think you're going to make a buck on them because someone has said, oh, they're rare, and and that's just I just want to throw that in there. But I think it's a misconception about what collectability really is, because no one thought that 50 years ago, 50 plus years ago on some of these cars.
You kept it till the next one came out.
It's exactly right.
So here's something. Here's a 63 Thunderbird M code.
Yeah.
And this is a convertible that has the cutoff for the cover for the back seat. This is
the tonneau cover. Yeah.
This car is under $50,000.
Yeah, look at that.
One of 37 made. This is a phenomenal buy. I mean, honestly, you have a rare car. 68,000 miles. Has a tri-power on it.
Yep.
Beautiful
390. Car. Yeah, white and red.
Beautiful car. Cruise-o-matic, automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes, air conditioning, power windows, build sheet, and invoice.
Yeah.
This is like a new car. I mean, literally,
yes, it is.
This thing.
And look how beautiful that is.
It is absolutely stunning. This is one of my favorite Thunderbirds. It's a well-built, stunning car. And swing away steering column, power seat, power top, AM FM radio, chrome wire wheels, white tire stripes.
And those are some rare options too. AM FM. I mean, my car even has an AM FM, which is not really still that de rigueur back in '67. That
FM wasn't really a thing till the '70s.
No, it wasn't. No,
it really
FM was like the AM is now in a way.
Yeah. But look at this thing. This car, it's the right color. It's white with a red interior. I mean, everything about this car is phenomenal. And this person got a hell of a deal. 50 grand. That's a hell of a deal on this car.
Beautiful.
That is a beautiful car. And I mean, honestly, it's a Thunderbird. I mean, you can roll in. It's a Thunderbird.
Yeah, and with the exception of some of the, I mean, power steering, power brakes, those were standard features on the car. Obviously, AC and power windows were optional. Swing away steering wheel was standard. The normal, without the tri-power, but the 390 was a standard engine. And the top goes into the trunk. It's a retractable. Yes. I mean, it's the soft top, but there's no exposed. It's a very ahead of its time, technically advanced car. We were talking about the Wixom plant last week, episode. Yes, so that car was built at Wixom alongside of the Lincolns.
And it shows because they are built that well.
They are.
I mean, they are built that well. But I mean, let me show you by comparison, because I just built up Thunderbirds. I'm going to show you something, though. Because this is another thing, because there weren't a lot of them. They're collectible.
Right.
No, it isn't. This car, is actually the highest I've ever seen one of these sell. It's $33,000. Usually they're 10 to 15.
And they were like 40 brand new.
This only has 1,700 miles on it, and it's still only brought 33.
Exactly.
There's nothing about this car.
Well received. Nope.
They're actually very poorly built. The windows, the front windshield rattles over bumps. It has a really anemic, weird engine in it.
4-liter V8. Yep.
It comes with this hard top that you have to take off manually, and it's just not an impressive car. A lot of the stuff's off the shelf. Jaguar and Ford.
Yeah, they took a Lincoln LS interior and didn't even try to make it look anything different.
No,
for Thunderbird.
No. So this is about collectability. This car, I would rather have that 63 Thunderbird over this.
Absolutely.
I would not even a contest at this point.
No.
I mean, this one went for 23. It's even the classic color. And it's just no miles.
On the white top.
7,600 miles on it.
Yeah.
And it just
doesn't
bring any money.
They weren't, again, they weren't popular then. It wasn't because they did not sell like they thought they were going to sell them.
But here's the other thing. These also, the 50s ones are also not very desirable.
No, they're
These
too. I
actually,
mean,
the 57, like the Thunderbird.
yeah,
Look at the price on this, $36,000.
that's nothing. I mean, that's really actually. I just saw one, ironically, going on the road. Actually, seen a couple. There was one like a canary yellow. Oh, it was absolutely gorgeous, and it didn't have the porthole, which is kind of unique. Not to see one with the
Yeah.
porthole on it.
But
That's a square bird.
the square birds at a bet. Wait, no, that's the Ayacoca bird right
No,
there.
no. So the one in the middle there, that's a square bird, I believe. The one
No,
the one in the corner,
no, these are all
that's a
57s.
I'm sorry. Okay, the flare bird is all the way to the left. That's the Ayacoca. You're thinking of the bunky bird,
No, right here. He made the 4-door. This is one he made the 4-door out of, the 69.
right? That's the flare bird. That's the flare bird. 67 to 69.
Oh, Jesus, this one has a 429 in it, and it still
Yeah.
didn't sell. Wow.
That was
Yeah,
optional.
here's a square bird. These are the
There
best
you
built Thunderbirds. Literally, these are the best built ones. They literally don't rattle. They are solid cars. But they made them a 4-seat, and they made them weirder looking. But this is actually very well built. I learned that a long time ago from my uncle.
Fords, if you look at most 58 Fords, they have that. They wanted to have that similarity thing where it was almost like what BMW does, the way European cars are, where your Thunderbird trickled down to your other Ford products, and they all had that similar look.
And the T-Pal, he's on here, man. The next 20 years, the pre-66 cars will be in Model A and Model T of today. Yeah, and Model Ts have no value. They are literally 10 grand.
Wow.
Nobody wants them. I mean, literally nobody wants those cars. And the 50s cars, those 50s Thunderbirds look great. They look wonderful. Yeah. They're built like garbage. I mean, the doors on corners with a bump, the door could open on you. It has a Y block 312 in there. Horrible engine. It's a horrible engine. It just it doesn't make a super amount of power, but also they'll burn oil. They don't rev. I mean, it's really not a great car. It looks wonderful, but it's really very mid compared to the 58 and up Thunderbirds, which are made like rocks because they were built like Lincolns. The 58
they became a
like
personal luxury car. They switched their mentality because a 4-seater, as we know, even though 2-seaters are cool, people like to have the back seat.
Correct. You realize that Chrysler did not have a personal luxury car until 1975. The Cordoba was the first personal luxury car.
Not even like the original Challenger or the Charger from 6. That wasn't considered like a 2-door. That Challenger
was a Mustang fight. It was a horrible car.
Okay.
And the Charger was a sports car. It was not a personal luxury car.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you could trick it out to be more personal luxury. That's what. Okay.
Yeah, that personal luxury would be something like a Thunderbird. That was a personal. They like create or a
Mark III,
a Pontiac, a Grand Prix. A Grand Prix was like
Riviera.
Yeah, those are personal luxury cars.
Yeah,
and Dodge and Chrysler never had one, until 75, and the Charger never became one, and that was the problem because my year leather seats went away.
Yeah,
and I mean it's like, how do you have a luxury car with no leather seats in it? You can't. It doesn't exist. So it was not an option. Leather was not an option in 72. And it went away until they changed the car when it was part of the Cordoba rebuild.
Another car, like you're talking about the build quality, another car that was absolutely ahead of its time, completely revolutionary against all other American chrome-based nonsense, basically beyond European, was the 53 Studebaker Lowry Coupe. But the build quality, unfortunately, on it made it fail. And it's such a shame because so radically different in the thought process the engineering was actually good. It was just the build quality that unfortunately made it fail.
Yeah, build quality killed a lot of cars. They killed the E-bodies. T-Pal, 2-door Imperials and 2-door C-bodies No, those are not personal luxury cars.
Yeah.
Those are luxury cars. Those are boats. Personal luxury
Right.
car would be the size of a Grand Prix. I mean, literally, that is, or a Thunderbird
Yeah.
in the 60s. That is a personal luxury car because it's not big, and it also wasn't backbreaking expensive. They were maybe, 4,000 to 5,000 back then,
Yeah.
which is a lot of
Right.
money. But an Imperial was $8,000.
Yeah.
A C-body like a Chrysler 300, that was $6,000. Easy. I mean, they were very, very expensive, the Chrysler cars and the Imperials of the day. So it wasn't a personal luxury car for Chrysler. Really was the Cordoba, and then the Charger that came. They didn't have anything that was, mid-priced but had all the features at all. I mean, Dodge, they never they mismarketed the Charger so badly. If you really look back at it, they really mismarketed the car. And it's really a shame because they needed NASCAR, so they made it a NASCAR car, but then they added all this luxury kind of to it, and then it just became like my car was 40. I priced it out. I think it was like $4,600 for a 318 car. $4,600. It was expensive. When you could buy a Pontiac Grand Prix, and it was like almost $600 cheaper. And Grand Prix came pretty loaded, especially in '72. Grand Prix were loaded. You usually got the 400 in the Grand Prix, or you got the 455 because they didn't put small engines in those cars.
Mm.
No, maybe maybe they had the Pontiac 350 in there, which is still the same as the 400 and same as 455. You realize there's no difference in the spacing of the bores. More useless facts. GCAN, a lot of 80s luxury cars do not have leather because leather fell out of favor. They went to crushed velour interiors, but real luxury cars had leather back then. That was the faux luxury. But the thing is, my car was very expensive, and you couldn't get leather if you wanted it. But in Ford at Mercury, you could get leather, and General Motors divisions definitely get leather. Like a Riviera, you can get leather. A Grand Prix, you got leather. A Monte Carlo, you can get leather. That didn't exist in a Charger, so that's kind of the problem. T-Pal, the reason why Chargers are so valuable and rare now is because after a few years, nobody wanted them, and because they were heavy. Yes and no. Actually, the big thing with the 68 to 70 Charger is the Dukes of Hazzard. And we'll be very honest about this. It's the Dukes of Hazzard. That Charger was on TV every week for how many years? Was it 7 years it ran?
Years. 78 to 85. Yep.
And that Charger was on there, and people wanted that car because it was a Charger and because it's the General Lee. It was on TV shows. That's really, and the other thing is that, honestly, that side, a B body rides a hell of a lot better than an E body. It rides better than an A body. A bodies are the fastest thing you can buy from Chrysler. A 340 Dart will spank most cars when done right. They'll run 12s. I've seen it in the pure stock. They actually have those cars running 12s. And the thing is, the Charger is a better riding car. It had better handling because it had a longer wheelbase. It was a NASCAR. It was the car Richard Petty. Like, my car is the car Richard Petty drove. And he drove that in NASCAR. And it's like there's a lot of NASCAR tying in too. But the Dukes of Hazzard was a big thing. So there's a lot to it. And, and they weren't that heavy, though. My Charger only weighs 3,200 pounds. A 440 Hemi car is under 4. So their unit bodies are not too terrible. But yeah, I mean, they're rare also because a lot of them got destroyed. I mean, they were raced to snot. They were really, really raced to snot. It was just really bad. So yeah, but it's But every back then, though, most people, once the car was 3-4 years old, you didn't want it anyway. You just wanted to buy the next thing. That's kind of it. You got Valor? Yeah, okay. All right, we'll wait for Mike to come back, and we'll probably close this out because, my God, we've been rambling now for a while. I had a lot to cover, I guess. I like this Wednesday night thing now. I like this a lot, actually. You know, if you got anything out of this, you're watching it live, whatever. If you're watching it recorded, you know, all I ask is that you subscribe, tell your friends about it, give me comments about what you'd want me to do, you know, within reason, because I have, you know, I come up with everything myself, and I'm pretty open to doing fun things or researching things for people because I like doing that type of stuff. So, you know, if you ever feel the need to make a contribution, that'd be great. And you ever grab? No, thankfully not. I don't have hemorrhoids. So yeah, wrap. Don't ask. So yeah, so Mike, this has been extremely fun. I like this Wednesday night thing because now I have a long time off, and I have time to make videos. And yeah, so you know, just begging at this point for money. So
open your hearts and open your wallets.
Oh, T-Pal, you're going to drop in Uncle Tony's? Well, thanks a lot, man. Thanks. That'd be cool. He's an okay guy. We're both from the same place. We both grew up in Staten Island. I know all the places he was talking about. Yep. Horatius 763. The Dukes is why I bought a 69. I don't know what my cat just did. 69 Charger in the mid 1990s. Yep. And I missed, and that pen's gone. All right, so but yeah. So yeah, hopefully I'll have my video on electrical coming out soon because I had so much fun with electrical when I was trying to get back from Sarasota because Chryslers are evil cars when it comes to electrical. They're evil. And then I actually have a thing about a home alignment, doing your toe. I actually bought the little toe kit, and I'm going to give that a whirl and see how it works. It's the one with the tape measures that you put on the actual wheels. I'm going to give it a try. So that's coming out. And my cat is doing really bad things back there, so I think it's time to leave. She's getting really pissy. Little bitch. All right. So you have any final words there, Fluno?
No, just been a very funny thing, very informative as always, and of course, great car conversation on so many different topics. I will throw out real quick to everybody still on that. I told this to Dennis earlier. On the way to work this morning, I was running late, which the reason I say that is I would have stopped to investigate this, but I saw a circa 64 to 66 Studebaker, which at that point was pretty much nothing but a boring sedan, but I just couldn't believe it. It was white and it was in front of the Midas, and I'm thinking, dang it. Now, I might not have seen it if I would have left earlier for work, but maybe it still will be there tomorrow morning, and if it's there, I'm going to stop and take some pictures because you certainly don't see a right before the end of its line Studebaker just simply parked in front of a Midas in 2026. I just thought it was a really cool car to see. Like, who has that? Like, I like to actually. I would love to. Maybe I hope it's still there. If you'll know, you definitely will know if it's still in front of the Midas tomorrow.
Because yeah, that's something you just don't see. People aren't running out to buy that. In fact, you go to Mecum, put in Studebaker. It's not a big draw. There's not a lot going on there.
No. But that's it for me.
All right, same here. I've enjoyed this. This was fun, and yeah, I just loved it. And thanks for coming on and helping. And yes, at Mecum, the largest auction in the United States, there is 8. My cat just turned one of my lights off. Now I'm sitting in the dark. Evil little thing. Oh my God. All right. There's like only 10. There's only 10 Studebakers for sale. All right, I'm in the dark now, so it's time, I guess, to totally bail on this. Thanks, everyone. And remember, if you have something fun or cool to drive, do like I did last Saturday. Take it out and drive it. because you'll make someone's day, and it will be your own. And I will catch you very, very soon in the dark. Something weird's happening. If you liked what you saw, like, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, probably your own.